All right, boy. Let's go. Our first podcast is destined to fail. Let's go see how it goes. This will be a good waste of our 60 minutes of our life. But
I don't think it's waste. Like,
yeah.
I think the best way to view a podcast is just like two people talking. And we don't even pretend that there is someone watching us. It's like, when people have film sets, they don't imagine like there's someone watching them. Like, they will just have sex with the person and then after that, people will watch, right? I think podcast is the same way. It's just like people happen to eavesdrop on what you're talking about, and what you're talking about is something interesting, useful, or makes sense.
I love how you reference podcast immediately.
I can reference it to many things. Because it's funny. It's funny. To me, I feel.
Also, then lies the question. I wonder if porn stars, right, actually behave differently.
I think they do. Honestly, I think they do. Because it's like you're acting.
Yeah.
It's like
actually as a job, actually, most of them.
It is a job to them. It's just like a job that can expose them to many people and a lot of money.
Expose them to many people.
Literally, right? Like, I don't mean, no pun intended, but
literally, yeah.
That's how it's that's how it works.
Yeah, so let's go to your prompt for how we should start. Let's start with your story.
Something. Yeah, so maybe I can ask questions since I'll say I'm quite decent at it. So Darren, tell me something that you're working on in your life right now.
I am working to make more money. Yeah, that's the key.
That's a very big goal.
That's a very big goal. Actually, like if I were to say what am I working on right now, I'm working to improve my marketing skill set so that it spreads to just beyond direct marketing. Because right now, like my only skill set is only direct response marketing, but not so much like the bigger brand marketing, which is the kind of marketing that can incite change in the entire society kind.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be the dream. Like, have you heard the line, whatever stays in Vegas?
Stays in Vegas?
Yeah, whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Apparently that catchphrase was the story behind it was actually a marketing campaign.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, and the guy was very sad that he didn't charge based on value, he charged based on hour.
So much money did he make?
I don't know, I can't remember, very little. The guy who came out with the most legendary Vegas line.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it's one of the videos by Chris though, very interesting.
Interesting, wow. Yeah, so what is okay, maybe let's just not talk about work stuff because it's a bit boring to ask what you do. So if right now you had $1 billion, what would you be doing?
Every day masturbating.
No, like seriously, like if let's just say apart from masturbating, like you had $1 billion, what would you be doing on a daily basis? How would your life look like? Like supposedly you have all the money in the world already, and time wasn't like you have time because
you have money.
You have money and you have health. Like you are like your age right now. What would you be doing?
Okay, let me think. First thing I will probably do. Let me try and imagine it. This is like a method acting. You must actually feel. Like, let's go like full The Secret, and try to imagine.
Okay.
And so let me try to imagine if I were to have $1 million in my bank account. Right, I'm looking at my POSB.
Billion.
Oh yeah. So right now I walk up to my POSB account and I press my PIN number. Then after I look at the screen and it says $1 billion. The funny thing is, will I feel anything? I don't think I probably will feel less stress. That's the first thing that will happen.
Okay.
Yeah. But will that be anything much different for me? I don't think I'll do anything much different. Probably I'll just...
How will your life look like on a day-to-day basis? Like on a daily basis, run me through a picture of how your day would be.
Okay, so do I have $1 billion and skill set, or do I just have $1 billion and still?
So you have all the skill set, like you have the skill set, whatever you've been working on, and you are loaded.
Okay, so I have $1 billion with all the skill sets of like experience from running businesses and stuff like that.
Yeah, whatever.
Alright, probably I'll just go and try and pursue my dream, which is to find startups with potential that is more towards the industry of sustainable technology. Yeah, because one of my vision is I hope humanity will last as long as possible before they die. Because I do think the human civilization, everything comes to an end.
Right.
It's an inevitable thing. So no matter how brilliant we are right now, I do genuinely believe, I don't know how long the timeline will be, but humans will one day go extinct for sure.
Right.
Yeah, I just hope that I could be a force that aids in humanity not going extinct so fast.
Right.
Yeah. And why is because I think I had this thought in the past last time where I think the universe and the world is very beautiful and if there's nobody around to appreciate it, I think it's kind of a waste. Yeah, that's my motivation for why I want humans to last as long. Because I think humans
what,
being
what,
the
what are
only...
3 things you would spend your money on? The biggest. What's the 3 biggest thing that you would spend your money on? Because there's only so much amount of house or cars you can buy. Like you got $1 billion. What would you spend money on?
To be honest, I think I'll just have one house, one car for each of my family members. My mom, my dad, my girlfriend, my sister maybe. Yeah, and I think I don't really have any other things that I really want. The rest of the money I'll throw into venture capitalism for those
Okay, you cannot
technology.
spend money on. You cannot invest the money. You must spend it.
Must spend
You can give it away. You can spend however you want. You can choose to invest in companies, but that's making money unless that's something that you like.
Investing in companies doesn't mean you make money, but there's like a
90%
90% failure rate. So chances are I'm giving the money away at 90% of the time. So yeah, look for people with potential to run a beautiful company in the future that can aid in my vision. Then I'll just help those people out.
Okay.
That will be my finale dream. I then retire on the farm because of Clarkson's Farm is a very good show.
So what will you do in the farm?
Where does a farmer? How the fuck? I have to grow potatoes, grow celery.
Would you have animals?
Huh? Yeah. I think it's nice. I saw like they had episodes on sheep and cows. I think the episodes were all very touching when they look at the cows giving birth to the baby cows, and then the next scene they talk about how many people a cow can feed. So it's quite funny.
See, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, what about you?
Okay, what about me?
If you have $1 billion in your bank right
What do I
now
do?
with all the skill sets, let's do two. I want to do one without, like, let's say you don't have the skill set of a person who should be worth $1 billion.
So I'm just lottery rich.
Yeah, basically you just strike a lottery for $1 billion. So that's the first scenario. And then the second scenario would be when you do develop yourself and actually have the skill set.
Well, I think firstly you have to pay tax. Okay, but
Okay, fuck tax, right? Like you
supposedly
park all your money in Sweden or some shit.
I would I think I'll just buy a house. I'll stay in one house, like probably close to my parents-in-law, because my dad doesn't stay in Malaysia. Like my dad stays in Malaysia, so I buy my dad a house in Malaysia. Yeah, somewhere close to his sister.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I want to drive. Not a fan of it. Probably I get a personal driver.
But
Maybe.
then you still have to buy a car.
Maybe, I'm not sure. Because I don't want to be the one that goes to service the car, go to the workshop. Not a car person. I don't mind taking Grab everywhere I go actually, so I might not want to get a driver. What would I spend the money on? Honestly, I don't think I'll spend much. I'll just spend the money on traveling the world with my family, business class, give them all the best experience. Then supposedly that's done.
Then masturbate.
I'll probably. I feel like I would set up a way that you could give money back to people who are underpaid in society. I think. People who are underpaid in society.
Like example.
Like recently I was watching this CNA Insider, right? Like Child Protection Service. Like they work like dog. I would say I always thought that insurance people and property agent work the hardest, but then until I noticed that there are people like counselors and people that like child protective services, they have to do admin, they have to like go and receive inquiries, they have to check on the child, they have to follow up, they have to make sure the child is safe, they actually have to be the one that fulfill the duty of going down and checking on the child. And like they also have to manage the parents. You know what I mean? It's like babysit the parents and babysit the child. And then you still must like work on the parents and help the parents get better in their wellness and stuff like that. Plus you also must manage the child like wellness, and then you still have to do your admin, you still have to do paperwork, you still have to do planning, you still have to do meeting, and that is just one case. And usually one person, I think they get assigned 30-50 cases. Yeah, seriously, dude. Like when I watched the video, right, every single one of the child protective service, right, look like they are going to die.
Okay, so here lies the question: why do you have such a strong empathy or desire to help these child protection people? Like, cause it's very specific.
Yeah.
Like you say, like the downtrodden of society, basically.
I
what
think
you just
I think
said.
three things actually. That's one. Child people like teachers,
Mhm.
child protective services. Secondly is I think maybe single parents, whether a single mom or single
Single
dad.
parents, I think right notes are child protective.
Single. Why am I those?
That's like a more question to answer. I have a goldfish memory, bro.
Right. I also have goldfish memory.
Yeah.
We probably ask each other the same question.
And so what were you gonna do with a billion? Okay, so yeah, so you got child protective services, single parents, and
I think I would maybe set up a school for relationships.
school for relationships.
Or maybe for men, for guys.
School for relationships.
Maybe
So
school for men. I guess.
school for men. So like Andrew Tate.
Not really, but like a different kind. Like, I feel like the reason why a lot of society problems, right, happens from a guy. Like, in a sense whereby, I'm not talking about how guys are like not alpha, that kind of stuff, but what I'm referring to is a lot of people. Okay, so I have to run you through like people. If right now I punch your face, right, what's the first thing you want to do?
Punch your face,
Correct. So if I punch your face, you want to punch back, right? So in a sense, whenever
I think I might punch your cock.
like you get
Because I got no anything.
you get what I mean, right?
I got no
So
fight.
the whole point is that when people hurt you, you want to hurt them back.
Yeah.
So in life, right, do you agree with me that there are a lot of people in life that go through life hurt? Because at anyone at some point of time they will be hurt in life. Either through some friendship, betrayal, romantic partners, or maybe family, or like whoever. True?
Mm-hmm. It's unavoidable. Yeah, that's my perspective.
Correct. It is unavoidable. But the question is not about whether we get it, the question is what we do with it and how we process it. And what happens when people are hurt?
They start to go into a more negative headspace.
Or like when I punch you, you want to punch me back.
Yeah, revenge.
Does it necessarily stop at me?
Okay, so it comes to the context. So if let's say a really big size guy like The Rock punches me in the face, my first instinct would be punching back.
Okay. Maybe what I mean is that I think a lot of people in society, like usually when someone cheats on you, you feel like you cannot trust the girl, then you will end up cheating on other girls, and then the girl will cheat on other guys.
Yeah.
It becomes like an MLM, but
for dicks and pussies.
Yeah, for hurt, for people that are hurt, right?
Toxic relationships.
Yeah, and stuff like that. And then what happens? Or when people hurt, right, they will hurt people. And the thing is that they end up in relationships, in marriage, and then the guy and the girl have a lot of fights, they have kids. The kids watch the parents grow up, beat each other or whatever, or don't know how to treat each other, or maybe the mom cheat, the dad cheat or whatever. And then after that, what happens? The kid ends up becoming the dad.
Like the dad.
Like the dad or mom or whatever. So what ends up happening is that then that person goes on to society and do more fucked up things. Like you become a kidnapper, you like to scam people,
in US.
Or whatever shit, like you do stuff like you shoot people, you kill people. And actually, if you trace back to a lot of society problems, right, or why people are going to jail, right, it's because usually it starts from family. It's either your family is really poor and you are forced to be in a desperate situation where you have to do extreme things to get money, or number two, you just end up becoming like your parents unconsciously, and then you repeat the cycle. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I find it very interesting because I know your story.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if you're okay with sharing your story too.
Yeah, I'm okay. Like, cause I'm gonna share it one day, right? On stage.
Yeah, so I find it very interesting because like you care a lot about the innocent child.
Or like people that can hurt themselves.
Yeah, which reminds me of like when you were telling me the story about your life.
Myself, right?
Yeah, you were that innocent child who was like helpless and small in that situation with two adults.
Yeah, I would say like more like one adult, not one adult. Because my dad wasn't around, and my mom was She was supporting me and my sister. But so as a young kid, children always want to protect their parents. Agree? No children
will
always want to protect their parents.
Not necessarily, yeah.
Okay, but
I think
most
they are.
children.
Most
Most
yeah.
children.
That's
Yeah.
the norm.
Normally, like, if you are a 5-year-old kid or a 10-year-old, if you want to protect your parents or you want to
5 years old or 10 years old, I want to protect my. I can't remember how I was like last time. But most of the situation in
Maybe
my
you'll be
5 years.
masturbating.
Not yet. I still don't know what's the concept. I remember I lost my masturbation virginity at 14 years old.
Okay, let's give it back.
Yes. 14 years old.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I think, like, growing up, I feel like a lot of, there should be a lot of people who are like myself, and maybe they didn't have the resources, support, or help to, I don't know, like, get help somewhere.
You know what would be funny?
What?
Can you check if your phone is recording? If I never press the record button, it'll be damn awkward.
It's okay, like, doesn't matter.
Let me just double check. Oh yeah, it's recording, thank God. Okay,
But it's okay, it doesn't
continue.
matter. Like, I share this story all the time, more nowadays.
Yeah. No, but it's like wasted opportunity since we're really here for the podcasting.
Yeah, I mean, like, we just talk about this stuff.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, and I think that if I have all the money in the world, or what is something I can do that can help people, I think it'll be this. Because I was in a situation whereby I was helpless. So I know what it feels like to be in that situation. And if given the resources, the chance, the opportunity, and I have a lot more access for myself, then why not create a space or a community or an environment whereby you can help many of such people? And the funny thing is when you do that, these children, this single mom or dad, they feel supported or they don't do more extreme or desperate things. And then the children can grow up in safer homes. Then society is less fucked up. Like if you think of it in a very big picture and like in a very slow way.
It's a long journey.
Because think about it, nobody wakes up one day, right, and say I want to kill someone.
Yeah.
Nobody wakes up one day and say I want to murder someone or I want to bomb and like be a suicide bomber or whatever shit like that. I would say there are like a small percent.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Okay, you were saying?
Yeah, I'll say like there are a small percentage of people who are like psychopath and crazy. But apart from them, I don't think everyone that is a murderer or that hurts people through scamming, through whatever, they all came out as a baby and they were all innocent. Does it make sense? But somewhere along when they are like maybe to where they are right now or where they were fucked up, something must have had happened.
Actually, I had this very interesting discussion with my girlfriend about like, are humans born evil or good? And I do think actually humans are born evil.
What do you mean by that?
But we have so like if I were to draw a reference to myself as an example, right now I can probably ask you this question. Do you think I'm an honest person?
Quite.
Yeah, but when I was a kid, right, I was a fucking compulsive liar.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think it's over time I knocked the habit of compulsive lying out of myself to become like a more honest person. And I realized kids generally, if you look at a preschool, kindergarten, right, kids are damn toxic to each other. If there was no
Toxic, you might.
Yeah, they were
Kids are just more playful and mean.
Yes, more straight to the face, there's no filters, no nothing. They're just who they are.
They're more honest.
Yes, in a way. They're more authentic.
Yeah, authentic.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure in a preschool, if there was no teacher around,
Alright.
the kids will probably bully the shit out of each other.
I think it's just what kids do.
Yeah, which is why I think probably humans perhaps possibly like people say humans born as a clean slate, all kids are innocent. But I beg to differ. I think probably kids are born evil, but we get the evil knocked out of us as we grow up.
Or maybe it could be because the kids, I feel like there is this thing called nature and nurture.
Yeah,
Like,
I know that.
by nature, I'm a very persistent person, but because of what I've been through, it made me an even more persistent person. And I think some people, they are born really crazy. Like, I think there was once my girlfriend's dad and my girlfriend went on a trip, right? And what happened was there was a cruise and they were watching a show in the cruise and there was this little boy that actually stood up. he actually stood up in the middle of the show and continued watching. And when he stand up, right, the people behind all couldn't see. So what would most people do? Ask the kid to
Sit
sit down, right? And when people do that, it was a kid, they just ignored them. Until it got so bad until my girlfriend's dad went over and he literally went one by one, dig his way through to ask the kid to sit down. And then the kid say, "What are you going to do about it?" "I don't want to," or something like that. Then when he said that, right, all of the old people and all the parents around the kid was like, "Why are you so rude, right? Like, why is this kid so rude, right? And he's being so inconsiderate, being such a dick." I forgot what my girlfriend's dad said or something, but then I think he just shouted at the kid or something. Then the kid was like gonna say, "I'm gonna call Child Protective Services."
What the fuck can you do?
So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, the fact that the kid can say all this and use all this, right? It's like quite crazy. And then after, I think my girlfriend's dad shouted at him or something, he got scared and then he like sit down. Afterwards, after the show finished, the grandmother of the boy came to my girlfriend's dad and guess what she said?
Apologize.
No, she said thank you for disciplining my child. So it was quite interesting. And the reason why I say that, tell the story is because I think there are a minority of kids that are a bit more stubborn and mischievous. But I beg to differ though that kids are evil. I think it's more of like what they see growing up. Because humans are very influenced by their surroundings. Like, we as adults are already so influenced, and maybe now when we are older, we have more of our own brain. You agree with me? But when we were younger, we don't really have so much of our own brain as of yet, and we tend to just like to copy people.
When we are younger, yeah.
When we are younger,
Monkey see, monkey do.
yeah,
And we are monkeys.
correct. And usually when you are human, like if someone make fun of you in school, I'll make fun of you back. Which is why they are so called childish, because they're children.
Making fun, I think, is alright, but it must not come from like a. Making fun is generally an aggressive thing to do, but if it comes from
just having fun.
Yeah. How do I put it? Because like I think in secondary school we always make like really sarcastic jokes to each other. But I think generally it's okay. Like we can accept like Singaporean, we are a multiracial country. Like generally, if you're especially primary school, we always make the fucking racist jokes. Like they make Chinese racist jokes to me, then we will laugh.
Right.
Then I make Malay racist jokes to them, then we will laugh.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but so sad. Now everybody's so sensitive, you can't make that kind of jokes anymore.
Yeah, and I think
Quite annoying.
it's okay lah. I feel like, yeah, but I feel like that's what I'll do if I had a lot of money. I feel like I realized the question digressed a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'll do. Because I feel like after a while, life gets very mundane. Honestly, like after you buy all the things you want to buy, and you have enough to survive, then like life doesn't really change much.
Yeah. But you do need to hit that financial threshold to be free of at least the Maslow hierarchies of needs,
Right. Like you buy a house,
the basic stuff.
like your food, you can like do what you want. You're not like desperate or worried.
Yeah, wait, yes, I think this call. It's fine.
I don't know, I find it funny. Because I'm just imagining right now I'm watching a podcast and suddenly they're talking about like what are you gonna do this like on motorcycle shop or hey, hello, what yeah? Then it's like quite funny.
Okay, Ken, let's continue.
Yeah.
Okay, we cut out the butt.
Again, yeah. So Darren, ask you a question.
Yeah.
What is if you're going to die right now and you can call 3 people only to tell them last few things. Only 3 people. So your mom and dad is considered as 1. So mom is 1, dad is 1. You only can call 3 person. Who you call and why?
Call my girlfriend a subway dick.
What? Your grandfather?
No, call my girlfriend a subway.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Let me think. Okay, so the context is I'm gonna die tomorrow.
Yeah. Like, okay, you cannot do anything with them, but you only can call them.
So where am I? Why can't I do anything with them?
Maybe you're in the hospital and the doctor tell you have 1 more hour.
1 more hour?
Yeah.
Oh, 1 hour.
1 hour?
1
You
hour.
call.
Ghostbusters.
Seriously, who you call?
You're gonna call. Probably girlfriend, mom, and dad. Lor.
Okay. If it's 5 people,
Girlfriend, mom, dad. As much as I don't really want to call Simon, but I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna die because he knew to kill the company.
okay.
So I need to answer to the clients.
5th,
Let me see. I think 4 is enough.
okay.
Yeah.
Let me see what else.
No, maybe my sister. Lor.
Your sister.
Yeah, that's the people.
Interesting. What is a fun experiment that you always wanted to try, but you haven't quite bring yourself to do it yet? Like a fun experiment.
Do you have an example of a fun experiment that you would like to do yourself? And maybe I can draw inspiration for that on my own idea.
Well, there was one that I wanted to try, which I did with you. I went down knocking.
Oh yeah, that's fucking stupid. That's very fun. The auntie.
Yeah, but that was a good experience though. We sort of had success. If you think about it. It's just that it wasn't recorded because she didn't want us to record her.
Fair enough, privacy.
Yeah, and that makes sense because I mean, like, imagine suddenly the husband see her on TikTok or something, right? Can you imagine?
Actually, why not? I think it's okay lah. To me, I personally think it's okay. But if she wants a privacy, respect it.
I think most people want a private life actually.
Mm.
Yeah, I feel celebrities sometimes are quite sad because they have no private life. In a sense, like if you like, there are pros to it definitely, but there's a lot of cons also that people don't talk about. Like you have no privacy. People put you on a pedestal, you make a mistake and they shame you and cancel you, and then you lose your entire career opportunity. Like, does it make sense? If like you portray yourself to be a very kind person that is, very nice, and the moment in public someone catch you shouting at your son or shouting at your girlfriend or wife or your friend, then people's like, I thought this guy is supposed to be a very kind guy.
Yeah, but they don't have the context.
But that's what people do all the time. Like, you never know what, like, and people, they're always following you, taking picture. And I just now I saw a video of, like, mother shit on TikTok. Like, the guy, Jackson Wang, like, people are just...
Jackson Wang, who is that? Very familiar.
Some singer, dancer-ish, quite popular one. Like, usually, I think quite a lot of people know him and they go crazy over him.
I can just Google his face.
Yeah.
Quick Google.
Jackson Wang.
Jackson Wang. He's a rapper. Oh, he looks like a...
Yeah, so
he looks like a twat.
but there are a lot of people that go crazy over him. Like they go crazy over him,
Wouldn't be surprised. That's the power of Star Oil. I mean,
he doesn't seem like a bad person though. Actually,
he just seems like a normal dude, like.
Yeah, but he's like you can have no peace one And I think recently, like he did a video on TikTok or like interview whereby he opened up saying that if he had something in life, he didn't know who to call.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I think probably you can influence him. Yeah, but you know what I mean?
Oh, sorry, wrong auto. Yeah, I get what you mean. Which is quite sad, actually.
And that's sad. It's sad because he knows, like, a lot of people know him. But here's the thing, a lot of people know his name, and I feel like they idolize who he is. They don't really know who he is as a person.
They are in love with the idea of
Correct.
him, but not him.
Exactly. Because how can you love someone if you don't really know them?
Uh-huh.
And today, if I've never told you shit in my life, right, that I'm not proud of, how can you be my friend?
Yeah, you must accept the shit, but...
It's like, you know what I mean? Like, if you are with a girlfriend or with a friend, you probably know their good side and bad side.
Yeah.
Their bad side.
Hey. Yeah, I heard this joke today.
I didn't think. I didn't think.
Okay, I heard this joke. Fuck, the joke was quite funny.
But it's just random.
If a journalist writes journals, what does an analyst? If a journalist keeps journals, what does an analyst keep?
You know?
I don't know.
What?
I found that joke quite funny.
The journalist keeps journaling. So if a journalist keeps journal,
what does an analyst keep
doing?
What does an analyst? No, if a journalist keeps journals.
Journalist keeps journals. Analyst keeps journals. Is that it?
Yeah, the funny thing is in the video, like the guy was asking a guy who works as a data analyst. So the guy just, hey, you cannot stop laughing, the guy. Then he's like, I don't keep anals, bro. But I keep laughing. Okay, back to the
You
topic.
never know.
Yeah. Maybe he has a harem of anals in his house.
Maybe there's a chance.
He just likes it too bad. Alright, so yeah, back to the Jackson one. It's quite sad lah, yeah lah, but they chose that line. But to be honest, I would say to some extent, do you completely not want fame?
No, I don't want.
Completely not.
I don't want. I want to be rich and unknown, if you ask me ideally. Because I can have my peace. Does it make sense? Like, there are a lot of people who are really rich, and if you think about people who are really rich, a lot of them are very private.
But they come from rich families usually.
Correct. And a lot of them are really private. Or people that, there are a lot of star founders that make it big, but you do not know who are they. Because they don't purposely, like, the time you sent me the guy, Justin, I don't know who the hell he was.
Justin? Which Justin?
The Twitch founder.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you see, after he sold the company, he just disappeared. Like, do whatever he wanted in life. And in some sense, like, he's not, like, super famous, like, people will walk out on the streets and say, hey, can I have an autograph? Can I follow you to the toilet? I want to see where you go to the club, I want to follow you.
I'll see your Google.
Yeah, whatever, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But celebrities, I never liked the idea of a celebrity. But to me, like, a celebrity is someone that people put. It's like celebrity has fans, right? And I feel like fans are very creepy people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's very weird to fan boy or go crazy. I'm a fan of you. Like, it means that, like, indirectly I'm like lower than you.
Alternatively, it just shows that they, like, to be honest, okay, I've never really understood the concept of, like girls and guys who fanboy over, like, Korean groups. It's gonna piss off a lot of people.
I don't. I
can't understand, like,
I don't even think people will watch this.
yeah, I don't even think, but if, yeah, I get what you
But
mean.
people don't. I don't think people. Actually, we can cut this up into TikTok also.
Yeah.
And probably get some hate comments.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Jackson was my idol, you fucker.
Yeah, who the fuck cares? Fuck them, fuck no people. Just get cancelled. Like, we got nothing to cancel anyway. We got like 200 followers. Cancel me! Like the Ronnie Jing, cancel me!
He's the comedian, right?
Yeah, he's a comedian. He got one video on YouTube about cancel me. That's quite good.
TikTok.
Yeah, quite funny. Yeah, so the thing is, like, I don't understand, like, do you have so much free time on your hands to, like, spend 12 hours a day thinking about somebody else who you will never meet, never touch, never get into a conversation with? Yeah, what's the fucking point? Like,
I feel like you can, if you know the person, right, and you have seen or witnessed that the person done something very, very, really remarkable, right, and you respect, right, that is different.
Yeah, but why do you have to fan? Yeah, some of the things that those Korean people do, like the songs they sing, their voice is good, yeah, granted, but why do you have to like go googly eyes and idolize, put them on a like 10-kilometer high pedestal?
Actually, we should actually interview some fans one day, yeah.
Okay, we'll definitely piss them off, bro.
No, like, you know what we should do?
Funny,
we should go on the streets, right? And we just ask people, like, do you have any idols or celebrities that you really love and fanboy or fangirl about?
Elon Musk for me.
Okay. But I'm talking about, like, celebrities. Like, if I go to a streets and ask random stranger, like, do you know who is like Justin Bieber, Jackson Wang? Like, do you have any favorite celebrities that you love and what do you love about them? Then you must find those crazy fan ones that they cannot explain rationally. Then we want to ask them. I'm curious, like, why do you love them so much? Or why are you crazy over them?
I can predict their reaction when you ask them the question. The moment you ask them the question, you go, oh my god, I love this person. Then they'll just like get all emotional immediately just by like you asking the question because it pops in their mind.
Then we can ask them like, why do you care a lot about the person? Why is this person so important to you when he doesn't even know you?
No, you should ask them the question, why do you think they're so important to you first without the aggressive line.
Is he aggressive?
Yeah, it sounds a bit like you judging the person when you ask them.
That makes sense.
So, yeah.
Thirsty.
Yeah, but it's quite interesting. I can't empathize or wrap my head around how it works.
I can't also actually.
Yeah, it's like last time when I was younger, there was this band that I really loved called Muse.
Band,
yeah, it's like a UK band called Muse. Their songs are good lah. My favorite song was Hysteria, and even if they were to come Singapore, I would watch their tickets, but I wouldn't go like scream like crazy.
Yeah, and I actually really don't like concerts.
I think concerts are nice. I went to Arctic Monkeys concert. It's very enjoyable to me.
Why do you like concerts? Like, what is the fun about concerts?
Okay, so the thing about concert, okay, so I was having this conversation with my girlfriend also about the concert recently. Like, after I went to the concert and heard them play the songs live, right? When I hear the songs again on Spotify, right, the effect is totally different.
So it's more of experiencing them live.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah, and I guess the ambience of the people, everybody like going a bit high because it's their favorite song.
Right.
I think it adds to the effect. Like,
You
it's
see,
kind of like a bonding experience with complete strangers.
I
That's why
see
people like to go to festivals. This is one of the things I can understand is the
the vibe.
effect, the vibe that a group of people with a singular focus.
I see.
Yeah, and that's what music does. Like when a singer goes to the stage and sings, and it's like, let's say Gautier sings Now You're Just Somebody That I Used to Know. His only hit song. Everybody everybody will sing the song together, and it's a very, very beautiful feeling, actually.
I think it's like very human, right? Like
Shared experience.
to have a sense of belonging.
Mm.
Because essentially, like, you could just listen to the music.
Yeah, by earpiece. Oh, it's not just that. Like, I don't know why, but the music sounds better when it's live. Okay, provided the singer doesn't sing out of tune. I heard Katy Perry goes to a concert.
Is it?
She sings like shit. From what I heard, this is not. Don't quote me. I never watched any of her.
I've never been to any concert before, so
You should try. What's your favorite band? Or singer or whatever?
I don't have a favorite singer, but I do like Sam Smith.
Sam Smith, so you should try it when you come to Singapore. Go buy a ticket. You go experience live.
So I never like crowds, you see. Like, it's so annoying to squeeze through just to watch some sing.
You know me, do I like crowds? No. But it's different. It's different. You should try. Give it a shot.
Maybe once.
And then maybe we can share the next podcast episode will be like discussing about it.
Yeah. Let's Sam Smith concert.
Yeah. So very, very easy to identify your favorite singer. So like, what's your favorite song?
I don't really have a
Ever.
favorite song. Eh.
Okay, which specific singer do you know most of their songs?
Sam Smith.
Yeah, definitely Sam Smith is your favorite singer.
I know most of his songs, like quite a lot of his songs. It's nice, like, cause it's nice. Actually, it's nice. Full stop. Cause I like chicken rice. Why? Because he's nice. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, just
You know, by the way, you should try this damn nice chicken rice at Army Market.
I know, I keep singing IG story. I actually want to try it. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Next time.
But it's quite oily lah. I like it oily lah, but I don't know. It's nice because I eat chicken breast and the chicken breast is oily. Meaning to say, right, like, it doesn't taste like chicken breast. It's so well seasoned. The calories is probably damn high, but it doesn't matter. You just eat the chicken rice and it's damn nice. I eat 2 plates. Yeah, that's where the chicken rice goes.
Yeah, I'll go there. I'm very hungry.
So yeah, but the chicken rice is nice, and I ate $10 chicken, and I added 2 plates of rice. It's like $11.
Wow, fucking shit. Wow, I love chicken rice. The rice is good.
Wow, actually,
Yeah.
today's what day?
Today is 9th
Why
of
you
March.
morning?
Oh, tomorrow morning I got a lot of work to do. So
Oh,
yeah.
Can you shift for work?
Cannot.
What time do you have? What time is your work from?
9 o'clock to 4.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Saturday?
Saturday, I can bring my girlfriend along.
Saturday morning.
If I bring her out, she'll be very happy because I'll stay at home.
Saturday morning?
Sounds good.
Want to eat the chicken rice?
What time?
I don't know what time you open.
Hey, you got anytime fitness membership or not?
I don't have it because I don't like the anytime. It's
It's a cheapo gym, but it serves its purpose. It's like McDonald's of gyms.
But yeah, I get it. Like, it's not bad, but I don't really like it because I go to someone else, and I'm not a fan of. Like, I can see it's convenient, but it's just some things they don't have, and it's too crowded. Even though it's like anytime, right? Like, yeah, every time there's people. Every time there's people at any time.
Yeah, but I think their business model is very smart.
I feel like they're more franchise business.
Yeah, it's franchise. It is a franchise.
It's like McDonald's.
Yeah, it's McDonald's. It's McDonald's of gyms. Yeah. So I actually have an anytime fitness client. Then he was asking, I was telling him the PT client, the PT ads that we're doing for him not doing well. Then he asked me, oh, why do you think PT ads not doing well? Then I think my perspective, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know, but I'm just...
Yeah, just from public's perspective. Usually when a client asks me why something is not doing well, right, I would like to look at a material through the lens of a customer.
That makes sense because you're selling a customer.
Yeah, so the thing is, if I were to be a customer of a gym and you ask me, oh, do I want to get personal training from a company like Anytime Fitness? Nah.
It depends. Some people don't know what they don't know, you see.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if
yeah.
you're new to the gym, you might just like be done. Because when I was new to gym, I just signed up fitness first. I paid 6K to be damn fat. And I didn't know.
Did it help the experience?
I mean, it got worse. I wanted to like it got worse with that gym. I probably never ever signed fitness first again.
Oh,
You should
that's
censor the part.
it's a no need to censor the fact is that back and forth.
Yeah, just bad reviews. Like I paid fitness for $6,000 to get damn fat. A PT. Yeah, I was really damn fat.
Yeah. Okay, I don't look fat now. But how do you lose the fats?
I hired another PT, which like taught me the proper stuff.
Yeah, so if you have to ask me, Anytime Fitness, it's not a brand that I will associate with with personal training.
Right.
If personal training in the market right now, I would associate from the marketing. Like I know very little about the companies because I don't actually work with them or anything. Bigger ones on the market right now will be Ultimate Performance. I think that's the biggest one. Apparently they claim they have a wait list, although their service is like I think $8,000 for 50 sessions or some shit. I can't remember. It's very high.
Is that a lot?
Huh?
$8,000 divided by 50.
Okay, usually personal training is around the range of like 90 to 120 per session. That's the average market rate.
Top trainers get paid 150 to 200 plus.
Yes.
Per hour.
Correct. Yeah, but those are top trainers. Their time is limited. They can only commit 1 hour to each person every. Yeah, so if let's say their calendar is full, the only way to filter more is just to increase their price.
8,000 divided by 50.
Yeah, so let's just pull up a calculator.
130.
No, it's even more than that. Divided by 50. 160.
160.
But that's if you buy, I don't know, I can't remember the price, but it's like obscenely high. It's the most expensive personal training.
160 is okay, I think. I think it's alright.
But 1 hour, you see, a typical person who works at, like, let's say, like Singapore minimum wage, like $10 per hour.
I mean, yeah, Singapore minimum wage, then you probably will find it challenging to buy a PT. And I think good PTs are worth investing in, like, if you want to do it long term.
Yeah, correct.
For me, personally.
The reason for why people hire PT, I think most of the time is because they just have no discipline to do it themselves.
Not true. I actually disagree. I think 50% of them don't have discipline, but 50% of them
don't know how to do anything. Don't know anything about fitness.
Or they could be people that have been doing it for a while and they want to hire to see. It's like today, like your clients can own self Google marketing. Why they didn't hire you?
Because there's a lot of small intricacies that same with PT when you like the form there's little small intricacies that
it makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
Because now you end up becoming like me. Yeah, injured.
Fucking not worth. Pay $6,000.
It's not worth it. No, it's like not before that, but before I train for PT, I got injured. Yeah, then it fucks with my entire body though, my whole life. So yeah, to me it's worth it. Because I paid $6,000 to get fat, and after that was not worth it. That was shit. Then I paid another $3,000 to get fit.
So that was a good PT, yeah. That one you leave a good review too.
Yeah, it was good. And it was around 150, 180 per hour. I signed like 40 sessions. So it's like around 5,000-6,000 ish.
No, you can just share the company name as well.
No, it's not company name. I went to a person directly. Yeah, so it's good PTs, I feel are freelancers because they have more incentive. You know there are a lot of commercial PTs they get paid later.
Anytime Fitness is all commercial PTs, so that's why
Fitness First, True Fitness, Pure Fitness, they get paid peanuts.
You won't associate good PTs with Anytime Fitness, which
Not
is a
necessarily.
sad fact. If you want to commercialize your...
Not necessarily. I would say most of them don't have incentive to be good. But it doesn't mean you can't find a good PT that is cheap there. But
the odds is it's like you're paying more for better odds.
Correct. It's like today you are doing marketing for clients and you're more incentivized to do better marketing for them because they earn more, you earn more, right?
Yeah.
But if I pay you $2,000 a month fixed, I say I want you to run and make me $1 million from my ad campaign.
I just laugh.
You get what I mean? It's the same.
Yeah. Don't like there's this line by Chris Do that I love. Don't pay a small amount to solve a big problem.
Exactly. It's like you go to HDB and say, why must I pay so much for a house? Like, why is a house 5,000 or 1 million? Like, can't I pay $50?
Yeah, they'll just laugh at you.
It's the same.
Say you're retarded. This is just what everybody else is paying. What makes it so special?
Exactly, it's the same. So yeah, that's what I feel. And yeah, gym is it's fun. Story of life.
I got this very interesting question. Like, because right now the wage gap, right, is getting bigger and bigger. And like, the top people really earn a lot, but the bottom people really earn very little. And with cost of living going up like crazy, right?
Yeah.
How is those people gonna survive?
Government support. A lot of things when you're poor is actually subsidized.
Yeah, I understand now. Yeah.
Like, because I was staying in a one room rental, right? So with my single mom, do you know that how much we pay in rent?
How much?
150.
It's insane.
That is when you stay in a single mom and you're poor as fuck.
So theoretically, the government is playing Robin Hood, taking from the rich to pay for the poor people's subsidies.
Yes and no, because they will just have enough to get by. Right?
Yes.
It's like really, but the worst people are middle income because you don't get help from anyone. The rich, yeah, of course you're rich, then but when you really broke, right, like you still actually get help, right? Like subsidized housing, subsidized this, then subsidized electricity bill, sometimes you get free stuff from the government give you more money, yeah, like things like that, but in the middle you don't get anything. And you're only eligible to buy certain things, which if you compare relative pricing, sometimes is being poor actually sounds is better than like being in the middle.
Okay, in the middle, right, we do get subsidies. Okay, because I would consider my family is like the middle category. Yeah.
I don't think your family is just the middle. I think maybe they're more upper middle.
Okay, so we basically the group of people that don't get subsidies. So my dad is going to the hospital in and out a lot. Apparently, a lot of his medical bills, I would say at least 80%, maybe more. I can't remember, maybe less. About that is subsidized by government.
You got insurance?
Oh, his insurance is basically he got one critical illness, then they just lump sum pay out 55K, which for cancer treatment is not gonna last very long.
How much do you need for cancer treatment?
I have no idea. My uncle is the one who does the managing of my dad's finances.
Probably 300,000.
Yeah, give or take about that. But his is confirm cannot recover, so it's just
right.
Yeah, it's just the ongoing treatment all the way.
So if you would die right now, do you have any regrets in life?
Not trying harder.
Try harder in what?
Well, I read Discipline is Destiny. The book is quite interesting. It's basically a book about like fulfilling a life purpose, but you have to sacrifice a lot of things.
So do you know why people rave about books, people or things?
Books, people, or things. What are you talking about?
Like, do you know why people rave about books, rave about people, or rave about something? Because usually your favorite book that you read, right, or favorite book that you feel like everyone must read, is a book that impacted you the most at that point of time. So there must be something in this book, right, that has shifted a perspective or awakened your mind in certain ways that you've never felt before, that you felt like everyone must read this book.
I don't think it shifted perspective, it's more like it reinforced the perspective.
So what did you reinforce?
Discipline is destiny. That's it. As the title says.
Okay.
So basically, like, your destiny is predicated on how much discipline you are able to master in your life. If you're not able to master any discipline, I know of a person, and I think you know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. And even if he watches this, I'm shitting on him every single day in his face, so it's not considered backstabbing. Yeah. And he knows it himself.
Right.
His life is a mess right now because he has no discipline.
Discipline what?
Like willingness to sacrifice the things that you want to do for the things that needs to be done.
For example?
If I say example, everybody will know what it is already. So basically, there is this pastime that is dance related that he really loves.
I see.
Yeah, and like he knows he has a lot of things due. Like there was one project that I'm doing with him right now. I allocated him the job to do 4 days ago.
Right.
On the first day I told him, he told me, okay, I'll give it to you by tonight. That night, what he do? He chose to go for the dance.
I see.
Yeah, and sacrifice the work that needs to be done. And I second day I asked him, hey bro, where's the stuff that I need done? He said, oh bro, very tired. Today I sleep very late. I'll wake up late. Then he said, I'll give it to you by tonight. I finish my work at 8 o'clock. I'll do all the way. He reached home, straight away sleep, never do anything again. Yeah. So it's just like this cycle keeps going on. Lor. So I just basically went like, bro, if our client job gets delayed by you one more time, right? I'm gonna have to consider kicking you out of the project already. Because it can't possibly
And then the money?
just give him don't give him pay him whatever that. Okay, so the thing is he's because he's the one who brought the client, and he thinks like he's worth 50% of the project. So I go like, okay, fair enough. If you ask for 50%, if you can deliver 50% worth of work and everybody who is a stakeholder in this project thinks it's fair, go ahead. I'm okay with 50%. But right now, the fuck, like me and my partner, we've done close to 98% of the work. He's only done 2%, and he's asking for 50. That's like me.
2%?
Yeah, lor. So the thing is, we already paid him 15% of it already.
So
Yeah.
we pay him 300 also.
Yeah, give or take. So the thing is, he asked for. So basically, if he say the thing doesn't go through, he asked for 20. I think 20 is okay lah. Me and my partner keep 80. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just because he lacks discipline to sacrifice the thing that he wants to do, which is have fun dancing, partying, and stuff like that.
Right.
All the thing that needs to be done doesn't get done. And who else suffers? I suffer, my partner suffers, the client suffers. Because everything is delayed because of one person.
I feel like it's not discipline though. I feel like it's more of, like, I believe discipline is important and I do think it's important, but what I think is probably he has a mental issue. Not realizing that, you're escaping into all this. But you're not confronting reality. It's like some people, when they are stressed or they hate their life, they go drugs, they go smoke. Or
Yeah.
excessive smoking, right? Or not that any of this is wrong, but they excessively go into it. They go gambling, they go drugs, they maybe just have a lot of sex or watch a lot of porn, or like some people. And all those things, these 5 things or these 6 things are not negative things, right? So these things that if you go crazy, excessive on it, people will judge you negatively. If you have sex addict, drugs addict, gambling addict, alcohol addict. But here's the thing. A lot of things that people use to escape into can also be a bad thing, just because society rewards you positively for having more of it. For example, some people, when they hate their life, they escape into the gym. They're always at the gym because that's where they feel like
they're in control of their life.
Correct. And that's where they feel worth as a person. They feel like that's where I'm worthy because I am strong and big. Second thing is like money. I am always making money and I am a multi-millionaire, I'm a billionaire, whatever. And they're always working. Like, I'm not saying that you always working is wrong, but at the end of the day, right, 2-person, you and I can both be really rich and we can always be working, but our intentions behind why we always work is different. For you, maybe it's out of passion and purpose, but for me, maybe it's out of fear to prove myself and to feel like I'm not good enough and to feel like to prove myself to people. But if you ask me whether I'm happy, I'm not. So I'm working very hard because I'm just doing it to prove people. That's why you hear a lot of stories of people being rich and successful, but they're not happy. Or they are suicidal or they kill themselves. Because of this?
Yeah, there's a lot of celebrities with all the money they could ever want, and you just suddenly, like anyone else, just suddenly drop overdose and die.
So why do you think that people get depressed?
Inability to regulate emotions.
And that's one. And yeah, exactly. That's why they go into, and then no self-awareness, they go into such things. So back to the friend, that friend just uses dance as a form of escape. And it's not necessarily a bad thing actually. Because I would rather the person be dancing than on drugs or like excessive having sex, or like gambling. Although it's not healthy, excessive always in the gym, excessive making money, and like this regarding your family, your friends, your health, just for money, but how much money do you really make? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I like to question people. Like, if someone is open to debate me, I would actually break down their life for them and to really help them see. Like, recently I met this girl, and she was telling me how it's interesting because on social media her life seems quite cool.
How does she portray?
Like just cool person, just cool person. Dances well, and
is it the dance I'm thinking of?
No.
Oh, it's a different dance.
It's a different dance. Dances well and seems like okay, like just living life. But like when I met her and then she was telling me like, oh, actually my relationship is in a mess, my career is in a mess, my finance is in a mess, my life is in a mess, I don't really like my relationship, my family is abusive, and I'm mixed, and my mom's gonna fall sick, and I'm not sure whether this guy is someone I want to marry, but I cannot also let go of him so easily because I have low self-esteem.
Oh, she's very honest. We will say that to you.
I mean, because it's to me. Does it make sense? I mean, maybe because it's just how I make people feel. Like, I don't really judge them.
Oh, who are we to judge? We're quite fucked up ourselves.
Yeah, in some sense.
I think that's the beauty of being fucked up. Like, if you know you are fucked up, right? Like, you allow other people, and you're honest about how fucked up you are. You allow other people to
correct.
Open about their vulnerabilities.
People connect with people. You don't connect with me through my success. You connect with me through my struggle. And you know what's the funny thing? Everyone is fucked up in some sense.
Everyone is fucked up. Just embrace. But like, people are so afraid to show how fucked up they truly are. And with all this whole SJW movement, it's actually making things worse because SJW, Social Justice Warrior Movement.
What the hell is that?
Basically, a lot of people who are like very politically correct and must maintain politically correct statements and comments, and you can't say any things that's fucked up. Or you get cancelled, you get flamed, you get.
There is some truth to that, and like I can understand why people do that, but of course, like they don't get to build connection with people, I guess.
Because you're always living this pristine, perfect life.
Yeah, so today, ask a question. Today, if I ask you when someone is physically capable, right? Like, recently there's this Netflix called
Physical 100. Yeah.
If I ask you, right, if I say, Darren, if someone has extreme strong physical capabilities, what would you think of this guy or girl? If I say this person has extremely strong physical capabilities, just tell me what he or she can do.
Lift weights very easily.
The person is strong, right?
Yeah.
If I tell you that someone is financially very capable, what do you think this person can do very well?
Make money very well.
Make money very well. If I tell you someone is mentally very capable, what does it tell you of this person? Or like, what do you think this person can do very well?
Mentally very capable in terms of discipline, or in terms of like just intellect, general intellect?
In terms of like mental strength, like he's very strong, his mindset is very strong. When I say someone has a very strong mindset, what do you think this person can do very well? Everything, right? Because he's like never give up easily, like he will fail and he'll try again, right? But the golden question is, if I tell you someone is emotionally very strong, what do you think this person can do?
Mentally very strong, emotionally very strong.
So right now, financial...
I'll say I'll give him the same answer as a mentally very strong one. Because emotionally very strong and mentally very strong is theoretically the same.
Not really.
To me, it's similar. There's differences, but it's similar. Because it's kind of like if you were to put a Venn diagram, there's this overlap.
Right. So I give you a scenario. Okay, when you're mentally strong, when you're physically strong, you can carry something that is
heavy.
When you're financially capable and financially strong, you can shoulder a lot of financial burden. If you are, or like you have the capability to make money, right? Like if your dad is financially responsible.
Oh yes, financial.
You can shoulder and
burden. I get what you mean by the burden.
Correct. Yes. Third, if you're mentally strong, you can shoulder a lot of
make tough decisions.
And if you're mentally strong, you can shoulder a lot of tough things, right? But if you're emotionally strong, what does that mean? What do you shoulder? Emotional capacity.
Good therapies.
Exactly.
Take on other people's emotional burden.
Correct. So here's the thing, like a lot of guys, right, we are not really trained to be emotionally strong. We are all trained to, a lot of guys, they tend to focus on three: physical, financial, and sexual. Which is the three things they always compare. How strong I am, how fast I am. Number 2 is how much money I make. Number 3 is how many lay count you have.
Body count,
body generation. Yeah, think about it, correct? That's what they always ask. How much money do you make? How strong are you? What's your lay count? What's your body count? How many girls have you had sex with? What does it imply? How capable you are at sexual capacity. But you realize people don't talk about mental and mentally still got talk about like, okay, you must be strong mindset, don't give up. But how many people talk about emotional capacity? That's why you always see the guy shut the girl down. When the girl is emotional, the guy say, "Why are you so emotional?"
Wait, a guy can do that. Is it because the guy is emotionally strong?
No, I don't. The guy.
Or basically, he shuts her off. That's why he's not a bit emotionally strong because he's not willing to take her emotions.
No, because he cannot does it. He cannot do it. It's like if you don't have the ability, if right now you only have the skill to make $10 an hour, I say go and make $1,000 right now. Can you do it?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
if you don't have the capability to make $1,000 an hour, you don't have sales abilities, and you only know how to make $10 an hour, which is do waitering. I ask you right now, 1 week, go and make $1,000. Can you do it? You can't.
Depends on who mentor me.
No, but no one helps you. It's just yourself. You can't, right? Physically, if you only can if you only can bench press 50 kg, and I ask you to bench press 100 kg in the next week, can you do it? You can't.
Realistically, no, without injuries.
Exactly. You can force yourself, but you might die. So in the same way, when guys cannot don't have strong emotional capacity, how it reflects in the world is that they cannot hold space for people, which means
Hold space for people.
yes. Which means today, right now, you're telling me that you feel like you're going through a hard time. Someone that has zero emotional capability will say something like, just move on. What's so hard about that? If you tell me, for example, like, okay, I'm having a bad day. What's wrong with you? People in Africa dying.
That's my reply.
No, but in some sense, like, and a few more answers is like, oh, I had a bad day, my boss scolded me. There must be a reason why boss scolded you. Do you deserve it? This kind of response.
So, from what I can hear, you think like this kind of response is wrong because you're not coming from a place of empathy to try and understand the other person's emotions. Because the person is unable to process those emotions himself.
Because you can only give people what you have.
Okay, so let's roleplay. So I can't really grasp like the concept, but I'm getting a bit closer to your definition of emotional capacity.
Yeah.
So if you were to do a roleplay of how a emotionally strong a person who has strong emotional capacity would behave. Okay, so
you can start off by telling me bad news. You must tell me bad news.
Yes. My Google very small.
Oh, like seriously.
I'm trying to think of something. Real bad news. Okay, my business is doing alright, but not as good as I want it to be.
Okay. Why do you feel that way?
Basically, I have a target of getting 25k per month in disposable income, but it's nowhere near that.
And
if anything, it's less than half.
And how do you feel about it?
How would I feel about it? Feels like shit. Yeah, feel shitty generally. Like, feel like, why am I not capable enough to make that kind of disposable income?
So you feel like you're not capable?
Yeah.
I'm curious, why do you feel like you're not capable?
Okay, so if you were to use money as a measuring stick, because theoretically, if you come down to things must always be measurable. Let's say money is used as a measuring stick. I'm not hitting the measuring stick target that I've set for myself.
And because of that, you feel like you're not good enough.
Yeah. Something like that.
I feel like if someone who is a good friend, that has emotional capacity, would say something like that, and would say like, why not? Do you want to figure out something together and a review of how we could actually help you hit your targets better? Compared to how much you earn last month?
About 10k.
So you are 15k? Okay, what 10k? Why you complain?
Not 25k. Okay.
Yeah,
less than 50%.
Okay, so you earn 10k, you complain 25k. What's wrong with you, yeah? Something wrong, People cannot even earn $10, you 10k a month, you still not happy. This is one response, that someone that has zero emotional capability. So when I respond like that, right, Darren, how do you feel?
Punch your face. Back to the
what the fuck's wrong with you, right? You come from mother class, you know what I mean? Like you'll be like, what the hell?
Hey, this is the way Andrew Tate communicates.
I don't know how you
communicate. Kind of. He just says like, oh, you guys are fucking pussies. No, but that's the only way he can communicate in like a mass medium kind of way.
Correct, because he gets attention.
Yeah.
But back to the point. the first scenario, how do you feel? When I was curious, when I was non-judgmental, and when I wanted to find out how you feel, when I listened to you without any judgment, when I didn't assume anything, and when I asked you like, okay, how can I support you?
How can I be of service?
Yeah, how can I help you? Or I'm sorry that you felt that way, that you feel you're not good enough, but it's not true. Because you were earning 2K and now you're earning 10. Because if you carry on, yes, I know it sucks to not be able to hit a target, but if you carry on, I think that there's a good chance that you might hit 25K in the upcoming months because I believe in you. Compared to what's wrong with you? You earn 10K, right? Work harder lah. Suck it up.
Interesting. This is a good clippable moment.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
And here's the thing, a lot of guys do that in all areas of their life because they don't have emotional depth and they don't have emotional capacity and emotional strength. And the reason why I can say this, not to pinpoint people, but because I was like that myself.
Yeah, so I got the next question after you were talking. Knowing you last time, you were the kind of guy who had no kind. You would basically reply like the.
I was like that.
You.
Exactly. Like
So
if someone
what
tell me
changed? What
changed?
triggered the change?
So that I can be a better boyfriend. I think generally I have that in me at some point. Like deep inside by nature, I'm always that kind of person. But it's just maybe I've gone through life and you've been disappointed, you've been hurt, and I have a lot of emotional baggage and drama that I've not resolved. So I become this angry person that always want to prove people or to destroy people. So outside I'm very sociable and friendly, but inside I'm hyper competitive. Like in an unhealthy way. Like to me back then when I was younger, right, if something I do and someone I meet cannot bring me money, right, I'll not meet the person and I'll not want to hang out. So even my then girlfriend, to me I feel like that was a liability, it was a waste of my fucking time. And I literally met her like once in 2 months or once in a month, and I was scold her saying, why are we hanging out, sitting down and eating lunch, we're wasting my time. I could have been prospecting. Literally these are the things I would say, sir. Yeah, so she cheered me after 1 year.
Moral of the story.
But you get what I mean, right? You get what I mean? So this was an example of a very extreme side of me which I don't have emotional capacity to hold space for people because I cannot do it for myself. Make sense? If I do not
hold space for
correct,
yourself.
if I do not know how to run Facebook ads for myself, can I help you? I can't.
It will be tough.
If I do not know how to bench press properly,
Properly.
yeah. Properly.
Yeah.
And I see you struggling, can I help you?
No.
If I do not know how to make $1,000 in an hour and you ask me for advice and I only make $10, can I help you?
No.
So today, if I don't even know how to manage my own emotions and hold space for myself, can I hold space for you? I cannot.
No.
I will respond to you in the way, and the way I respond to you is not necessarily personal, right? It is the way I also respond to
Yourself. So you're not harsh on yourself, thus you won't be harsh on others.
In some sense, yes and no. I feel like in life you have to learn to balance the art of being hard and kind to yourself. And it's not like a black or white thing, but it's like a grey and continuum. Because you cannot always just lay low and say, you know what, I'm amazing and I'm super amazing and I'm the best. I should just do nothing, masturbate and sleep and life will fall out perfectly, you know? That's not being kind to yourself, correct? But you also don't want to be like, you motherfucking useless piece of shit. Today you earn $10,000, you fucking useless. There are some people earning 100K, what are you doing? That was literally how I was talking to myself last time. That's why I was so hard. And I was motivated and driven. Why do people think I can hit so much sales targets? Because that was how I talked to myself. And I said, like, are you stupid or what? Like, this is literally what I tell myself. Are you stupid? Your mom is fucking tired. You have the audacity to fucking rest. She works 14 hours a day and you work 14 hours, you still can rest. Go fuck yourself, man. You better work 18 hours until you fucking die. You should be hustling, making money, learning, or closing sales. If not, right, you're wasting your life and you're being a fucking stupid son. So that was what I was telling myself all the time. That's why I was always motivated. On the outside, they say, wow, Michael is so motivated.
Okay, I want to draw a timeline for this. This way of talking to yourself, from what age to what age were you talking to yourself like that?
I think it started when I was young. Because my mom talked to me like that when I was like 10 all the way until I was 24, 23. So then because I was not taught anything. This was how I was being a default, right? And that was how I talk to people. And back then when I was recruiting people for MIM, right, I talked to my guys like that. Like, tell me something.
Nobody will follow you for long.
Of course, I close a lot of people. But guess who stayed? Guess who
Nobody.
followed? Nobody, exactly. Tell me a problem that you have if you are a salesperson under me. For
Hey boss,
example,
no sales
you
How
got
to
legs,
sell?
you got hands, you don't have reader. You don't have Google YouTube, you can watch porn, you can Google Netflix, but you cannot spend 5 minutes to read a book. So is there something wrong with the business or something wrong with you? This is how I will talk.
So how will you talk to the person? Hey boss, no. How will you talk now in the same situation? So hey boss, very hard to get sales and no sales.
Okay.
Very hard. I cannot feed my family. Yeah.
I mean, like, they won't say that way.
Okay. Yeah. No
Just say-
sales. Very hard to get. No money.
Okay.
Something like that.
How maybe what I can do is, seems like you've been trying very hard, and I think the fact that you are trying means it's a good step. But if you are new at something, it's gonna take time for you to get good at it, like anything else in life. So why not we just sit down and go through what are the things that you did good, and what are things that you did that maybe could have hindered your progress. So if you were on the receiving end on the two different sentences, how do you feel in the first sentence?
One is like
How
just
does this
basically
guy-
like a wall come out already.
Yeah, like what the fuck is wrong with this
The other
guy,
one is
man?
like sit beside you and like
Yeah.
work it out together.
And how do you feel when I tell you the second thing? How do you feel?
The second thing, which is the work together.
Yeah, let's work together. Let me help you.
I go like, oh, this boss damn dope.
Damn dope.
Shucks, yeah.
Because
Can see a brighter future.
he cares for me.
Yeah, can see a brighter future.
It's not just the brighter future, but because you feel that he cares for me.
And because he cares for you, that's why the future will be brighter.
Correct. But if
Yeah.
not, you don't see the future, and then what will happen? You leave. People don't leave companies. People leave people. People always leave companies, right? Most of the time, right? It's because of people.
Yeah, lah.
And people join because of people.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I was having this convo with our mutual physio.
oh, was it?
Yeah, I was talking about him because he you also know he recently hired one guy.
Right.
Yeah, so like I was asking him this question, so he was like saying, oh, he left his previous company and stuff, and so then he said he very have this fear where if he trains someone too well, because he's really damn good, and if he trains his entire methodology, he has this fear that the person will leave him and start their own life, just like he did for his own company.
Correct.
So then I asked him this question, and it's like, actually I asked you this question, if that time when you were at your previous company, if your boss was good, would you have left? Then he thought for a while, then he go like, yeah, actually my boss was good and he listened to me, I actually wouldn't have left.
Correct.
Yeah, so as you said, people, that's why I say you don't have to worry about it, because the thing is, if you're a good leader, per se, you don't have to worry about people leaving you.
Exactly. And that's why what I feel, right, like when you want to become a good entrepreneur, a good boss, right, or a good father, because think about it, every entrepreneur is like a leader, right? Because you have to lead people, hire people, recruit, teach. Every single guy that wants a family in life, inevitably, they become a leader, or they are in a role of leadership.
They have to lead their kids. If they don't lead their kids will lead them.
Not just your kids, but your wife. Correct. But a lot of guys, they have a very warped perception of what it means to lead. To a lot of guys, what it means to lead, what they think of leading is, I work hard, I put money on the table, and whenever my wife says, hey, how come you always no time for our kid? You can't see I'm working hard for the family, is it? Remember the lady we met?
Oh, yes.
What did she say?
Like that.
My husband works so hard with so much money, but he's never at home. That's why my kids now never at home. And I'm alone. Then she said, honestly, I also don't know why we need such a big house. We buy a big house, but he's not at home. My kids are not at home for what?
Like that lor.
Like that lor.
Her favourite line.
Here's the
Like that
thing.
lor.
A lot of guys, including myself back then, they think that that's all you should do as a guy. Because we are psychoed in such a way that if you are poor or if you're broke, you are. Complete the sentence.
Useless.
As a guy. Exactly. If you are
Useless
broke
as a
and
man,
you are poor, yeah, exactly, you are useless as a man. You completely yourself. I didn't even tell you that.
Yeah,
But
it's
the
just
fact
a
that you
basic
can
assumption
because-
for all men.
Because it's psychoed into us. In some sense, it's true that a guy has to provide, but here's the part where it gets tricky or also like confusing. That is only basic. Honestly, that's the most fundamental. Because frankly speaking, right, nowadays women are extremely capable. And in fact, a lot of women make more than men.
Yep.
If you look at all the top insurance agents, right, a lot of them are women, not men. Top. Or nowadays, you got a lot of top CEOs. A lot of them are women. Fuck, they're all better than men. You know why? Because they're better leaders. Because they're better listeners. They have more empathy. And women generally have a higher emotional capacity. Some people want to follow them. People want to tell you things. People want to feedback to you.
And information is
correct. And
what
information
drives.
drives. And you learn stuff, right? Like imagine you are a company and CEO, right, of 100%, but nobody dare to tell you feedback. Because they because they fear that you will react in such a way that you will scold them, fire them, or ignore them.
Yeah, that's the problem of tunnel visioning. No? There was so if you were to draw that, I think 48 Rules of Power, got this story about King Louis. Basically, the problem of when you acquire power, people with power tend to isolate themselves because of fear.
Fear, like people will take their power?
Something I can't remember. Yeah, that's all. I think it's not King Louis. King Louis did a good job. The one who did a bad job was Qin Shi Huang.
Who's that?
Qin Shi Huang, you know the Chinese emperor which united the whole of China last time.
Not really, but I can, I guess.
Yeah, basically he's the most, like people say he's the most successful emperor because like last time all of China were like warring states. Then he was the one who brought all of China together. So basically last time, China got a lot of different dialects. He was the one who standardized all the dialects to have the same written text, just pronounced differently.
Right.
So you maintain the culture, but then everybody in China can understand a singular language. Yeah, so he's the guy that did that. So for him, towards the later parts of his life, because he had a lot of fear, that there was a lot of backstabbing, and like usually in a position of power, he started to get very paranoid and skeptical.
Right.
He started to isolate himself. And when you isolate yourself from your people, the information disconnect is what happens gradually over time. And then you start to live in your own world where whatever is going on in your mind is not a good reflection of what actually happens in reality.
Because you don't have feedback from the ground.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that a lot of leaders don't work on. They think that you just need to have an amazing idea, and like if you are going to lead any company of sorts, your abilities, yes, your financial capabilities, yes, your networking skills, your problem solving skills, your selling skills, yes, but your emotional capacity needs to be there. If not, people will leave you. That's why you've heard a lot of people, and you and I both know people that can recruit a lot of people but cannot stay. Does it make sense?
Yep.
And I feel like there's no wrong or right, and this is just my opinion. There are companies that people like Elon Musk that I don't think he has this, but he's a bit more like a psychopath, actually, if you ask me. Like, look at how he fire people, like, with no regards. Like, he's like zero emotion, which is, in some sense, good for business, but he is like zero, a bit like a
robot.
Psychopath, or like a bit like no remorse, like your mom dies, you say, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, that kind of response,
How would they help our business earn money?
Correct, yeah, that's what you would probably think, like, that's why he responds, right? But I'm not saying that he doesn't have his good side, which is problem solving and the out of box thinking. But there's two ways that I feel that you want to drive people to produce. You want to drive based on the first way, which I feel like is based on love and a good culture, which is you being a strong leader, having a good emotional capacity, and people can tell you anything and you will not attack them. In fact, right, you encourage them and you thank them for telling you the truth. Can you imagine how many people want to follow you? If right now I sit down and say, hey Darren, or like you sit down and say, hey Baggio, I want to tell you something. The company has not been doing now because of this. I say, okay Darren, thanks for telling me. I really appreciate it. Let's work on it. And if this project goes well, I'll give you a raise. You fucking motivated, man. You're like, wow, man, my boss so good. But in fact, what will my boss do? What you tell me what's wrong? You go solve that. If I hire you for what? You cannot solve the problem, then you I hire you for what? You know what I mean? They talk like that. Then what's your mind? Motherfucker, you boss, go fuck yourself lah. Your wife is a prostitute.
I have you earn so much money, you can't reply.
Alright, and then I leave.
Then go get to another company.
Yeah, and I help the company make money. So this is what I mean by managing people, leading people, which is it's hard, you know why? Because for a leader to be able to lead people, right, he first need to have access to his own emotions. But a lot of them are not like that. And the thing is, you also need to be capable.
And the thing is, with capability comes power, and when power comes, a lot of people can't hold on to the power without getting corrupted.
No, maybe they just because they're not strong in their values. They don't know who they are, and they are affected by external stuff. Like in some sense, like when I was making more money last time, I was also buying a lot of branded stuff and a lot of shit. I spend on shit that I don't care about. But now I don't spend on shit that I don't care about. I only spend on things that I care about. And ironically, it's none of the things that I used to spend a lot of money on. I think that those things were things that I care about. And that's what I thought.
Okay, so from what I can hear so far, you've sold the idea of emotional capacity quite well.
Because think about it.
So here is what I think, let's say people will want to listen. How do you go from a guy with zero emotional capacity who was tough as shit to himself and because of that his MLM company had zero retention and everybody fucked off, to a guy with emotional capacity now? I'm pretty sure people want to know like the gap.
What changed?
And how do you feel the gap?
Let me think. Like I have to really think this one.
Yeah, that'd be
I think what changed
question.
was my entire life, my entire motivation was to always make enough money so I can support my mom. But what a lot of people don't know that was my mom was very abusive and I would be in a sandwich position. Because when I was like 12 till all the way to 23, 24, my entire sole desire in life was to do one thing. And that one thing only, which is to make enough money so that I can support my mom and we'll have a happy family. So that was the one thing that I clung on to, like my life depend on it. And I fight. I went through many ups and downs. I got scammed multiple times. I lost a lot of money. I lost a lot of friends. I went through a lot of shit. And I actually got it. But in between, even though my mom was my sole motivation, she was also the biggest source of my pain. Because my mom doesn't know how to control herself and manage her own emotions, I become the punching bag. You heard of stories. The angry dad come home, he's violent, he's drunk. What does he do?
Punch the kids, punch the wife.
Beat the wife, yeah. But in that situation, it's my mom and I'm the victim. But people can never tell because my mom on the outside is very nice and she looks harmless. But she's the same person that will take a knife and point at you and say, what do I have got to lose? I'm old, you're young. And the most crazy thing was the most craziest two things that ever happened was when I came home one day, I saw she wanted to throw my sister down the window. She was carrying my sister. I had to run over there and then I have to throw away all our knife. I threw all the knife and then I had to fucking spear my mom down. My sister screamed and ran away. And then after that, I asked my mom, what the fuck are you doing? And she was drunk. It was like late at night. And that's the first thing I saw when I came home. Second, the most craziest thing was when I finally gave my mom $8,000 for Mother's Day, and when I finally, in my own opinion, feel that I have went through 10 years of my fucking life to be able to support my family when COVID happened, and I gave her $8,000, we had a major fight. Because before that, I told my mom, if I can support the whole family, right, and I give you enough money, right, can you quit smoking for your own health? She said, okay. And when I finally did that, right, I gave her the money. I was so excited because I was feeling good about myself. Like I just OR'd, man. And I'm supporting my entire fucking family when COVID happened because my mom and my sister lost their job. And what happened was, I was telling her, I said, hey, remember that time 3 months ago you said that, or 4 months ago, 5 months ago, you said that if I make a bet with you that if I can pay for everything, you would stop smoking? She said, yeah. And now I've been paying for everything for 3 months already, and I also gave you quite a decent amount of can you quit smoking for your own health? Her response, the fuck you care about my life?
This is the reply you punch your face.
I said, you said that you would agree, ma. Like when I pay and support you, you say you will stop smoking for your own health. My life, I smoke, I do what I want now. So in my mind, when that happened, right, the first thing that went to my mind was like, WTF, what the fuck? Like after I went through so much of life to have this reaction, so I was then pissed off, I just walked away first. I went to bathe. And I was so angry, I was fucking naked, I fucking smashed the fucking door down. Can you imagine? I was in the toilet bathing, right? And then my blood was boiling, Like I was so angry, right? I smashed the fucking door down. Like I keep punching the fucking door until the door broke. and my hand was fucking swollen and bleeding. And then I realized the door broke. Fuck, I need to wear clothes.
I need to repair the door.
Stop being halfway. No, I didn't even thought of that first, but I was so angry. Because I had to vent somewhere, right? Now it's like 10 years of all this shit for you, and then this is how you fucking respond. What the fuck? Like, in my mind, that ticked already. Because for 12 years, there was a lot of things that happened in between that really drive me nuts. In that 12 years, right, there's only 3 things in my mind all the time. Money will solve everything. I want to kill my mom. Number 3, I want to kill myself. That was the 3 thoughts that was constantly swirling in my mind when I was in the 12 years. But I always ask myself, if I kill myself, right, what will happen to my mom? Who's going to take care of her? Because that time my dad was in jail. And my mom painted a very bad picture of my dad. And she's uneducated. And the reason why I didn't do anything to my mom was because I pity her. Because she sacrificed a lot for the family. And I feel like maybe if she didn't have us, maybe she wouldn't be so stressed. And maybe if she wouldn't be so stressed about money, she wouldn't have to have so much of this anxiety and like reactions and emotional outbursts. So there's a part of me that thinking, is it my fault? But I also didn't ask to be born, right? Like, they never use condom. like what? Like, you know what I mean? These are the things that I was thinking myself.
Okay.
And I started thinking like that when I was 12, you know. Can you imagine? All around I was 23, 24. And when that finally happened, right?
When you were a child, you had the thought like, I didn't ask to be born.
No, because my mom and I had a lot of fight.
Uh-huh.
And she would blame me for many things. She would verbally abuse me, physically abuse me, and a lot of things. But I didn't thought it was abuse. I thought it was normal. I thought it was normal that your parents would take a metal pole and
Smack you.
beat you. Like, she'll wait until I sleep until she slapped my face. And whenever I made a mistake, she said, if you want to enter the house, you must stand straight, let me slap you 5 times.
For what?
Punishment.
For
Like, you
what?
stand still, right? I just literally step you. You put your hand behind my back, right? I must slap your fucking face. Eh. Like, you know, UFC, the slap, she literally will do that. And it's like a few times, you know. And if she doesn't get it right, she'll wait until you sleep and then she'll do it. And then at times she will burn you. She will use the lighter, right? She'll light the thing and then she will like fucking like use the lighter and tap you and beat you. And many times my whole body will be like full of bruise. That's why I didn't go to school. Because if I go to school, they will ask, what happened to you? I cannot lie. What? It's so obvious, right? They will ask what happened, right? I cannot say I'm fine because my entire body is like fucking like bruised and stuff like that. And yeah, side note, fun fact, when I was a kid, I had a maid and the maid abused me also. So she took a metal hanger and beat my head. My head bled. And she would get me to do all the house chores. That was when I was 10 years old. Yeah, 10 years old. But serious, So she did not pay the nursery or child primary school fees for I don't know how I think I was 8 years old or 7 years old. Like, and then after that she would never pay the bills. My mom always get letters of why she didn't pay, and then the maid will always say, I don't know, I pay already. But the maid will get me and my sister to clean the house. Fucking ask us to wash the dish, then she will play her phone, then we will fucking go buy food for her. We clean the house, man. Then she say, you tell mommy I beat you even more. The maid will beat us. like fuck, right? Like in my mind, then I was so scared as a kid. So what happened was, the turning point came was one day, I think I disobeyed her. She took a metal hanger and she beat me until my head bleed. And when she saw my head bleed, she was fucking scared as fuck because my mom was about to come home. My mom was about to come home and then she was so fucking scared. She kept apologizing to me and suddenly 180 switch me, treat me so fucking nice. Come on, what is this for you? I do the bed. Then guess what? I told my mom. My mom wanted to fucking kill her, man. My mom wanted to take a knife and stab her. Like, as psychotic as she is, right? But she wanted to stab her, like, why the fuck you beat my kids? But that was when I was 10 or 9. What happened was, I think the maid ended up going jail. She went jail. She made a police report. Oh, and she stole $20,000 of our money. So that was like my childhood as like 8, 9 years old when I was like a helpless kid. Then after that, I thought when everything was going to be well, my dad went jail and my mom became the psycho person that like at times I wanted to support you and give you the best life so that you can go back to Malaysia to visit your mom. But at times I just fucking hate you, man. Why you treat me like that? Like, what did I do to deserve it? And it's over small things. You stay at a 1-room flat, right?
Mm-hmm.
I blow the fan at me. You say you want the fan. I say I want the fan because I'm hot. And because of that, my sister got beaten.
She beat your sister.
Because my mom said she wanted a fan, and my sister take the fan and throw it herself.
Oh, I thought you want the fan and she beat your sister.
And then my mom just beat my sister. It's crazy one, and it will escalate until like my sister said, "What's wrong?" My mom said, "You don't talk back to me." And my mother, then she's like, "What did I do?" Then my mom will start beating her. My sister will react very aggressively. Then my mom will kick her and drag her hair on the floor and go to the kitchen, cut her hair and kick her. That level, see, and that happened for many years. And then after every time that happens, she will say, "I'm sorry, I don't mean it." You get what I mean? So can you see this happening for 12 years, fucking hell? And many times my sister will be like, "What the fuck, I want to fucking kill you, man. What's wrong with you? I'll report you." But she'll never do it. And I'll never do it. Not because we don't want, but not because we cannot, but we don't want. Who the fuck wants your own mom to go jail, right? And if I report, she definitely 100% will go jail. But I feel bad for her because her life sucks already. She's poor, she's divorced, she has no one. Her sister got into a mental issue. She has to support her sister. She has not seen her mom for 7 years. And the only time she went back to her mom, when I was 18, she went back to Malaysia and see her mom. You know why? Because her mom got cancer. And imagine you've not seen your dad for 8 years because you're in another country, and then you go back, your dad died. You see him for 1 day, 2 days, he died. Then she took a picture of her mom in ICU. She sent me, "When can I see you?" No, I'm kidding. Like, she said, like, "Hey, sir, I don't know why my life is like that. Like, what's wrong? Like, I divorced, then no money. Then my mom like that." And do you know what my mom worked as? This is something that other people don't know about. My mom worked as those KTV nightclub girl that sells alcohol. So a lot of times she would drink with them and she'll come home drunk. So can you imagine as a kid how much I hate guys? There's a part of me that I really hate guys. When I was younger, right, I really thought of all the ways, right, of how I can kill people and kill guys like this and like burn them, torture them. And as a kid, right, I really thought of how I could potentially expose them to their wife, then after that kill their families in front of them. And then, no, seriously, this is what I
fucking dark thoughts, bro.
This is what I really thought of. That was when I was younger. When I saw this. And my mom came home drunk one day, fucking hell, she got banged by a fucking car. 1 a.m. someone called me at Ocean Park, because then we were staying at Chinatown. The nurse called me, "Hi, is this family member?" I'm like, "Yes, who is this?" Because it was a girl. I was shocked, like, why would a girl use my phone and call my mom? Use my mom's phone and call me? And then she was like, "Okay, I'm sorry to bring this news, but your mom just got into a car accident and she got banged because she was drunk. She walked in the middle of the road, I think, and she is unconscious now. I need someone to be there." And then I had no money. I ran to the hospital to Ocean Park. I think my 2.46 minutes, damn fast. I said I'll be there half an hour, but I reached there in like 15 minutes. So it was all these experiences which always made me think, if I report her, I feel like I'm being a very bad son. But at many times I wanted to, because I'm like, fuck, why you torture me so much? And she will use money as a bait when you were younger. If you don't listen to her, I don't give you money, you have no food. Then I'll go to my friend's house and eat. Seriously, if you ask me where I develop networking skills, right, is I know if I make my friends' parents like me, they will say, "Come on and stay over more." Then in my mind, stay over more means I can sleep in peace, I have free food, and I have fun with my friends.
So much is like heaven and hell.
Correct, but going home is like hell. So my home was never a home, it was a hell. And there were many times I really thought of how I could kill people and destroy people and torture them, and if someone hurt me, I will find all the ways that I can to emotionally, financially, mentally, physically, sexually destroy them, humiliate them, and fucking kill them. Like, that was the dark thoughts in me when I was growing up, because I experienced all of this, right? And I always had the thoughts, but I never did anything, because that's not who I am as a person by nature. Does it make sense?
Yep, kind of.
So that's why I was very hard on myself, because I felt like if I have money, I can be powerful. I can have a lot of money, and no one can touch me. And if you do, I will make sure I give you 1,000 times back. And I'll make sure I do it so slowly, because killing you is easy. I always believe like you kill someone is so easy. But if I torture them and I find out all the things that they care about and I make them watch the person suffer of how I want to kill them, or whatever. That's how I hurt people. Like, that's how I would think I would do. And given my skills, how am I able to sell so well? Because I'm able to identify what is important to someone, right? Can you imagine if I use that for bad and I really become a scammer? Like I'll be like crazy, you know. I can be the psychopath that will go around like destroying people and like, just doing stupid, crazy things. But that's not who I am as a person. But because of what I went through in life, it made me into a very insecure and very driven person. Does it make sense on the outside?
Yeah, it does.
And I always wanted to prove that I'm good. Always wanted to get attention, get peacock. Why did I have sex with so many girls? Why do I have so much money? Because I want to make sure that I feel that. I want to make people feel that I'm good enough. Because inside I feel like shit. Does it make sense? But the turning point came was when I did all that for 12 years and gave my mom the life that I thought would actually make our family better. She acted with it. And she told the police that I wanted to kill her. For fuck's sake, I just finished NS. I'm 24 years old. 23, you tell the police I want to fucking kill you. I am no longer a fucking minor. Guess what happened? I received a call from Tanah Merah police station.
I remember you told me that.
And then they went down, they interviewed me. Fucking long story drama, but I knew that was gonna happen, right? That's why I recorded, you know. Can you imagine you had to record against your own mother because you know that she's gonna pull something like that against you? And if you didn't record it, right, you could have potentially go to jail for something that you didn't do. So can you imagine how I would have felt? I felt like, why is the person I'm protecting so much just betrayed? Like you betrayed me. Like this is the ultimate form of betrayal from your own fucking mother. Like, do you realize that I can go to jail for this because I'm 23? Thank fucking God I got a fucking recording. If not, my life, I wouldn't be here sitting down today. Seriously, my life would be gone. And to make things worse, I'm just an IT graduate. I'm not even a graduate. I'm a fucking N-level holder. No one would want to work with me. I could do anything. So I told the police, the police asked me, do you want to make charges against your mom? Because she filed a very serious offense. And if you want to pursue, you actually can. So at that point of anger, I said yes at first. Because I was so angry. I said, please file a charge. I want to try to pursue this case and do whatever it takes to put it inside. Then after one day, I think about it, I changed my mind. I told him, no, it's okay, I'll move out. I think the police was very shocked because they never they don't know how to respond in such a case, right? Then they also, are you sure you want to report your mom? You can by right, but because she committed a serious offense. But can you imagine how I was feeling at that point of time?
Yeah.
So I left her and I went to stay at my friend's office for the period. It was like 2020 June 4th.
It's quite recent, that's like 2 years back.
2 years. 2 years plus, 3 years, yeah. Then after that, I immediately found a apartment rental to stay for a few days, for a few months, and I moved out.
Oh, I think I know where.
Bencoolen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the time when I moved out and my life changed from there. Because like for the next few months, I felt like, what's the point of living? Because my mom is like that. And I think my purpose in life is meaningless. So I just spent my next few months watching Netflix, drowning myself in Netflix. And I just went to approach all of girls and escape through sex and picking up girls. Because I just felt like shit. And I went to club a lot also, and drink a lot. And then after that, that's where I started learning bachata. Shortly after, I met Michelle.
And I would say meeting Michelle is the primary turning point of everything to be a more positive.
Because you know what's the scary part? I didn't even know I had all this trauma.
Oh, that's...
You know scary, right? Like, if...
The unknown.
Yeah, if like right now I'm a murderer, right? And you can see that I just killed someone, for example, and I can tell you straight in the eye with full conviction that I'm not a murderer. And I genuinely believe it. And you can actually do a lie detector test with me, right? And the lie detector test tells you that I'm not lying. Do you know how fucking scary that is? I cannot even see that I have a lot of problems here. I have a shitload of baggage. I have a shitload of problems. And when I'm triggered, I have a lot of toxic behaviors. Can you imagine where I learn from? My mama. Because children learn what? Not because I want to, but because...
It's just where you are.
Because I was psycho and I was conditioned. This is what I see all the time. If you see your dad always shouting at your mom whenever your mom tries to give feedback, next time when someone gives you feedback, what do? You shout back. Not because you're a bad person, but because that's what you're conditioned to. And I was conditioned to do a lot of crazy things. Can you imagine with my mom how much crazy stuff I was conditioned to do? So whenever I was triggered last time, that's why when I was younger, do you remember why I always like to argue with people? Or at least I know for myself, I like to argue with people.
Yeah, your sales speech tends to be very argumentative, but it comes off as very logical.
It's logical, but it comes from a very hateful, angry, and like you're a stupid piece of shit point of view, right? Like I make you feel so stupid.
That you're not thinking of this offer.
Correct, but I could do it a better way, right? In a more kind and better way, but I don't because that was what I was telling myself. So that was who I was, and then after that, I met Michelle, and then a lot of things changed. She helped me realize that I have a lot of issues.
How did she help you realize? That's the
Because there were things that I did, right, that I say, right, or the way I behave, right, that make her very confused.
Example?
When I went to her house, right, to lie down, right, she introduced me to meditation, right. Within 10 seconds, I sleep. So I was lying down on the floor with her because she was introducing me meditation. After 10 seconds, I slept. And I slept for 15 minutes. I woke up after 15 minutes thinking that I did not even sleep. And she was very puzzled. She's like, do you know that you just slept? I said, my God, I never slept. I just opened my eyes and closed my eyes.
Actually, that's normal. I think I got
No, because
why is that an issue though?
I have that issue because whenever I was sleeping last time, my mom would always beat me when I'm sleeping. So imagine when you're sleeping, right?
Then you reply to your mom, I'm not sleeping.
I fucking beat you, right? What's the first thing you must do? You must defend yourself, right? So my body, last time when I was sleeping, right, if you just touch me like that, right, my response would be literally like cover my face, like as if like you are going to hit me. You just touch me like that, or like. And my girlfriend experienced this when she was sleeping with me. My ex-girlfriend, when I was sleeping with her, suddenly I would just shout and scream halfway when I'm sleeping. Yeah, when someone touched me, because it's like a learned response, you know. You get what I mean? For many years. So she was puzzled, like why this guy didn't know that he slept?
But actually, sometimes when I why would it be a trouble? So for me, I can share my own side. If so my girlfriend tries to press my feet to sleep because I always cannot fall asleep.
But that's fine. That's like
that's one of the great parts of having like a girlfriend, which is damn good at massage. So the thing is like sometimes I will fall asleep, right? And then I don't realize I fall asleep, and I wake up thinking.
How long do you think the recording can last for?
It's 2 hours already actually.
We check.
It's still recording.
Okay.
Yeah, wow, perfect. It has been 1 hour and 44 minutes.
Wow.
That's 2 hours content. Joe Rogan is about I think your stories are good. This is a very good start.
No, but I have a lot of more stories which are interesting and funny also.
Yeah.
But you get what I mean? So that was what I went through, and to me back then, one thing that has stand through the test of time is whenever I wanted something, I would never give up. And I'll fight to it. What I wanted back then when I was a child was to give my mom financial freedom. And I sort of did it. Even after going through all that shit, I told myself, fuck it, I'm gonna make it happen. No matter fucking what. When I got scammed, I told myself, fuck it, I'm gonna get out of this and pay my friends back, and I'm gonna earn more money and get out of this and retire my mom. Everything at the core.
Fuck it.
I'm gonna retire my mom. At the core of everything, I know if I give up now, I have nothing and I cannot retire my mom.
Basically, your entire identity is pegged to whether you can retire your mom or not.
Exactly. And when I did that, and that was crushed, because I thought that when I retire my mom, our life would be
better.
But
it's like back to the drawing board.
Correct, but it became worse. Like some unexpected plot twist.
Yeah, unintended consequences.
Correct, and I didn't do it wrong. It's nothing my fault. And I always thought that was my fault. So until I met Michelle, then she got me to realize that I have issues. I want to see therapists.
I can understand okay. So the one thing I can wrap my head around is the sleeping 15 minutes was
because
one of the identifiers.
That was one thing, but many things. It means that I cannot sleep in peace. Because subconsciously I am programmed that people are always out there to
kill you,
to get you. Because I think like that because my mom shouldn't know that. That's why I'm hyper competitive last time when I want to destroy someone, right? I really will want to destroy someone. Like the unhealthy thoughts of what I would do to that person to get rid of the person for competition, right, is crazy. Like I would think of such things. Whether I do it or not, I don't know. But the fact that I can even think of it and like I would know exactly what to say, what to do, right? How to set this person up so that I can destroy this person's career. Like that was what I was thinking, you know, like it was like just crazy, like no, it's very opposite of who I am as a person. But because of how I was conditioned and a lot of how I was being treated, if right now, Darren, I always treat you with love and kindness, what is the tendency that you also want to treat people with love and kindness?
Oh my god, I got this perfect analogy for what you're going through.
But does it make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense because if I were to draw this parallel to what Sylvia, your physio, can I say his name?
Yeah. Like maybe just like physio.
Yeah, your physio. I just say half his name. I don't think anybody can finish it. But basically half his name. So he was sharing with me this analogy about how muscle works, which I find it very intriguing.
Muscles.
Yes. I can draw a parallel to your story. So I think it's like a lot of people when they get injured, during the process of recovery, you tend to use the wrong muscle to overcompensate for the injured muscle because the injured muscle you generally use less of it.
Correct.
So if you were to put the right muscle you're supposed to use as like healthy emotional way of dealing with problems.
Right.
But because you're injured now, so you can only use the unhealthy way, which actually in the long run, even after you recover, you still use the unhealthy way because it's a habitual thing already.
Correct. It's already ingrained in your system.
Yeah, so actually what physio does, this is so to me. I think it's damn good. The way it's damn good. So the way the physio does is he will massage it in such a way so that you can reactivate that muscle which you have not been using for a very long time, and after a while that muscle will strengthen and you'll start to use the correct muscle again. Which is similar to the way you're telling a story. You had a lot of like damaged muscles in the past. Emotional damage. Yeah, so you have a lot of damaged muscles in the past in your body that forced you to use the wrong or not the most optimized muscle to solve the problem.
So at the core, these were my beliefs.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as friends. Everyone is competition. If they're competition, kill them, destroy them.
Thankfully, I don't have the belief.
But I just tell you what I mean. Back then, what I believe. And what else is if it's a cutthroat rule. It's like
it is to some extent a cutthroat.
It is.
But there is nice.
There are a lot of good people.
There's kindness.
Correct. But that's what I think. And so to me, if they're gonna cut me, I must make sure whenever I meet someone, right? This is quite fucked up. But whenever I meet someone, right, I will always have an idea of how I can destroy their self-esteem and destroy their entire life. The first thing I'll think of, right, like I know it's quite fucked up, but so that if they ever cheat me, I know how I can 3 times or 10x.
Okay, so the interesting thing
the
damage.
The damage, which is a very like unhealthy way of thinking, and I was like fucked up in some sense because that was how I was being treated as a child, you know, like, and it kind of like reinforced.
I would say to some extent, maybe when I was younger, I do have similar frameworks of navigating the world, but not to so extreme a level of yours.
But mine's
yours is damn extreme. Yours is fucking extreme.
Correct. Yeah, and then it changed. I changed. Like it was a hard process because when I went to see my therapist, I had a lot of issues, man. I cannot come.
When the physio massage me, it's always damn painful.
yeah.
But it's good pain.
Right, it's like he massages like fuck. It's like it's so painful.
Yeah.
So mine was like emotionally pain, and sometimes like you know when you feel something so emotionally strong, physically you feel tired.
Yeah.
Or you break down, like because you just cannot move, cannot think.
You just feel like doing nothing.
I spent close to 1.5 years, right, resetting my entire belief system and working on my emotional capacity. My therapist said that actually this whatever you did in 1.5 years is what a lot of people would take 6 to 10 years to do. I don't know how for some fuck reason. I didn't say fuck but for some reason you did it in 1.5 years.
That persistence law. Basically your I would say my theory is this: your identity of your mother is replaced by your girlfriend now.
I would say
like the best, like you want to give the best in the world to your mom last time. Now you want to give the best in the world to your girlfriend. And your girlfriend, okay, I don't know her well enough, but from what I can see from my observation so far, like she's good for you. So if she's good for you, then it's a mutually beneficial thing.
Yeah, so
where you won't feel like when you do something good to her, she will come and fuck you over from another angle.
And that was the fucked up thing, you know. last time, because I have severe trust issue, right? And because of past relationship, I had a really, really, really hard time trying to trust her when she is someone that is extremely, extremely, extremely trustworthy. Can you see? So you would always do a lot of things for me. Imagine right now you do a lot of things for me, but because I don't trust you, I think you're out there too.
Ulterior motive. You always think I have an ulterior motive.
But when all you want from me is
Your best, the
my
well, yeah.
and then I will tell you that I will treat you as if like you are the enemy. So how would you feel?
In a relationship, that would be tougher.
It's tough is an underrated word, right? And that happened over and over and over again. Until I changed fully and got a lot better. So the truth is, there was a point of time where she actually considered leaving me.
Yeah, but I remember. You got told me before.
But she didn't. But she chose to believe and have faith that I would get better because she saw me going so hard to change. And I did. I honestly don't know how I did it, honestly, because back then at that point of time it felt like hell. Because I had to rewire the way I think, rewire my behaviors. That's how a lot of people say now, Baggio, for some reasons you've changed, like you're more calm, like you're not as like psychotic in some sense. Like you're still funny and crazy, but it's different vibe. It's this. I like to believe her. And I'm no longer as like the truth is there's still that part of me that sometimes just wants to scream to come out. Like when someone piss me off or like when someone purposely trying to hurt me or like trying to be funny, right? There's this part of me that still wants to like get back at the person and destroy the person. But after learning a lot of and after seeing how she treat me, because think about it, you gave your best for me and I think that you are out there to hurt me and I treat you like my number one enemy.
She's trying to change you, but for the better, but you view it as something toxic.
She's not trying to change me, like she wants me to change, but she has no control over whether I can change. So right now you love this person, but he's hurting you in so many ways, emotionally, that it's not good for you. That if this carries on, you
will lose herself.
Yeah. And you are stuck because you know that this guy is doing whatever he can to be better. And there is a lot of uncertainty. It's like almost investing in a startup. Not sure whether you should give up or continue. Almost that feeling, right? The same feeling, but you chose to stick it through. And if you ask me why when people meet me and her together, they always say, Baggio, I feel like you all been together for 8 years, 10 years. Correct? The vibe, 5 years.
I never hang out with you all
Or at least that's what
I,
at least that's what I get from other people. Next time you can hang out with us, you see for yourself. Like people just feel like, wow, are you 8 years together, 10 years together? We just 2 years. Because of what we've been through. And in the same way, to make things more interesting, she also have her own version of her own trauma, which also acted out in our relationship.
And then you sent her to therapy also.
I didn't send her to therapy. She was already seeing.
She went herself.
She was already seeing. She had to convince me actually to see therapy because I didn't think there was anything wrong with me.
But everybody got something wrong.
Everybody have, yeah. So what happened was we both stood by each other because there were times where I did something that was really like fucked up. And there was times where she also did her version. And now things are so much better. We are a lot more aligned. And she's like my number one favorite person in the world.
That's nice.
And my best friend and my partner all at once. And I'm lucky. And the funny thing is, ironically, we also have complementary skill sets. I am the creative, she's the structure. I'm spontaneous, she's the fixed routine. I am the risk getter, she's the risk mitigator. I am the extrovert, she's the introvert.
That's what I told you. I was like mentioning why you want to look to me for partner, you just partner.
Oh, because you see, like, when you partner your girlfriend for work, so it's also not as complicated also.
Well, Alex would beg to differ, but the thing is we don't know what happens behind the doors.
Correct.
Behind closed doors.
Yeah, so that's why our relationship is strong. Yeah, you ask me, people never see the part whereby we both like ugly crying together and thinking whether we should give up on each other. But we still choose to bite the bullet and say, I believe in
Try
us.
Let's give it another shot.
Yeah, and that kept, and we just keep trying. So I felt like we were married already because we were also staying together. And I felt like that's why a lot of married couples they break up because of this.
They stay together and they know each other too well.
Not really because they have a lot of unresolved issues that they don't want to work on. If you want to work on it, okay, what can you do? If right now you're my partner, right, and I don't want to work on it, what can you do?
Fuck off, huh?
Is it so easy to fuck off? You can you just walk away like that? Question mark. Maybe for you it is, but for other people it isn't.
I would say no. Not that easy. Even for me, it's not that easy.
It's hard. If your partner cheat on you, for example, or if your partner did something and you're still unhappy or there's something that unresolved, can you just leave like that? So easy? No, not so easy. There's a lot of things that go behind. It's complicated. It's not so like black white, like, oh, he's a bad person, he's a good person.
Yeah.
If it's a bad person, it's very easy to leave one. But if it's a good person, how? It's not so straightforward, right?
Yeah, but I would actually, like, my personal stance is like, I think getting a business with your significant other, not really a smart choice.
So you see,
as of now, that's my stance.
there is that valid point also because there is a chance that if you get into a business partnership with your significant other and y'all don't iron things out correctly, what will happen? Your relationship will get affected.
Yep, and it will tangle into your business also.
Correct.
And then both sides don't do well.
Correct. You see, so that is how it also possibly can go wrong. But it also can be a marriage multiplier. Who knows? There is always pros and cons to everything. So before you want to make a decision, you always have to take a time to think. That's the reason why, if you ask me why I haven't done anything with her, this is the reason why. Because we both also feel the same way. And we are scared to affect our relationship because we care more about our relationship
than whatever money you can make as a business together.
Correct. In some sense, but who knows, we might start something in the future with mitigated risk. Because she asked me, like, she said, what if one day, right, we build a very successful company, multi-million or even $1 billion, for example, and my mental health is suffered, and I say, I don't want you to partner with anyone. Will you give up the business for me? Like, that's what a lot of couples...
Can you repeat? Say slower in a way I can understand, because you blabber too fast, I couldn't.
So right now, supposedly you and I, we both are couples and we start a business and it becomes successful.
Who's the girl?
so let's just say
I'm the girl. I'm the girl.
You're the girl. And you are strongly convicted that you want to give the business up because you cannot take it for your mental health. Maybe something happened and then you just want to, or your health has issues. And you are uncomfortable with me finding another partner, guy or girl, for example, to run the business together and you want me to give it up. It's either I give the business up by selling it away.
Wait, so I'm to leave the company because maybe I got health issues?
You want to leave the company because you either have too much stress that you don't want to take it anymore.
Okay, why would I want you to not have a partner?
For whatever reasons, who knows, maybe it's something special for both of us, for example. Or maybe like our kid got cancer or something and he had 1 year left to live and you cannot have the time and luxury to spend the 1 year left with the kid because you need to run the company. And if you
so you want both of us to spend time with the kid.
Correct. For example,
I want you to spend time with our
example. But then if you do that, then the company will suffer. Are you going to sell the company and then focus on our son, or are you just going to fuck out the son and do it? For example, I know you can do both, and always there's a grey area.
If no son, easier continue a business because someone still has to take the money for everything to go on.
So here's the thing. For me, right, my take is whenever I make money now, I would always chuck aside
a percentage.
Percent to save, just to save.
What's the percentage?
Ideally now is I've been doing like 60%.
Ooh, that's a lot. I put 25 threshold now.
Yeah, but I mean everyone's different, right? Like So my point is instantly, because I know my value and my value is always family first, I will just instantly give it up. Because for me, which one you will regret more? I'll think if I'm dying, right? If it's my deathbed, right? Would I regret selling the business and take care of my family, or would I regret not taking care of my family for my business? And the answer is very straightforward. I would regret if I did not take care of my family first. So instantly the decision is very fast. Decisions are only hard when you do not know your values in priority.
Okay, so here's my answer. If it's just me and her, boyfriend, girlfriend, we got no kid yet.
Yeah.
I will continue the business.
Of course, it makes sense.
Yeah, but if I got a kid, then that's a different story. Then I'll be okay to sell off everything because the kid, time spent, if the kid got cancer and he's going to die in 1 year, I think spending time with the kid is priority.
Correct. So there's no wrong or right.
Yeah,
but it's just what
choices.
You want and what I want. Because couples, the reason why a lot of couples don't stay together long term is because they both don't grow. Maybe you're comfortable at where you are, which is fine. And I'm not. I want more. Or we both don't want to grow. Okay, that's fine. Then we can work it out. But if you don't want to grow, I want to grow, how?
Yeah, I like one person just...
Or if you want to grow but I don't want to grow, then how? Then we will drift apart. Or if suddenly you value money more than family, and I value family more than money, then how? Then we also grow apart. So you see that it's very hard. Like honestly, you ask me what's the hardest things in life, right? It's a relationship. Because you cannot escape. You have to work on your shit. And truth be told, we know a lot of people, even mutual friends, they are in unhappy relationships. But together for fuck reasons. You know what I mean? You get what I mean? And it's not just us, but a lot of people are in unhappy marriages. And they're staying together for what?
Kids off.
Kids
I
off.
say a lot of kids off.
How fucking sad a life, your one and only life, to stay together with someone you don't like anymore or you have different beliefs and values because of a kid. So that's why I say relationship is one of the hardest things. If you ask me, right, which one, what is harder, right? Going through what I went through with my mother, right? Or going through what I went through in my relationship to heal my relationship, right, and change me as a person, right? I would say the relationship is harder. Slightly above my mother.
Because I understand, changing your core identity, that's very, very tough to begin with.
Correct.
It's like you're telling me to drop this thing about honesty now, it'll be very hard for me also.
Correct.
Because something that's been developed for many, many years has become like a habitual thing already.
Correct. So in that sense, I had a lot of the identities which were unhealthy. Yeah. So the truth is that when she first got together with me, right, you know what's my honest thoughts? Apart from, yes, I'm happy. You know what's the next thought after that? Yeah, you leave me soon. Because you will feel that I'm
toxic.
Try and fill up the word. I don't know I was toxic.
Okay, so so the first thing is yes, she will leave me soon because she will think that I am a
loser.
Why do you think that she will think that you are a loser?
Because I think I'm a loser.
Why do you think you're a loser?
Because I'm not rich, I'm not successful yet. Back then, in my own eyes, to me, what was valuable? My mom would always say, you are fucking useless. You're fucking useless because of you.
Oh, basically you think like you're a fraud.
Like, she would use money to place value on me. So I would always think if I don't have money, I am
loser.
Even though I have other things, for example. Right? So to me back then, I felt like I was not financially successful. I know it sounds weird saying this, but to me, I don't feel like I was financially successful then, even though that point of time I was earning quite a lot for my age. I still feel like I was like fucking loser. Like seriously, like you ask me how I was really feeling. People were telling me, wow, when you can buy all this, you can buy this. But actually inside I feel like shit. Like, I feel like I'm a loser. I need to work harder. 30k money, what a fucking pathetic loser. Seriously, that's what I feel, Literally. That's why I was like confused. Like, yes, I got her, but it's like, why can't you with me? Yeah, correct. Which is a lot. Am I good enough? Like, what am I good? What am I good in? Like, why me? I don't get it. And then I'll compare myself with the past guys that she did. Wow, they have so much money on this. Because money is what important to me. But I couldn't see the other things that she could see me.
So what were the other things? Hey, why not tilt your chair this way? Facing away.
Well, I think firstly, like, how many people, right, if you were in my situation, in my family, right, you would have done what I did. To want to protect your mom and still help your mom and not kill her. And not kill yourself.
It's a weird, fucked up way of kindness.
Yeah, but could you have endured 12 years of that?
I don't know.
Without wanting to kill yourself?
Never go through, so very hard to say. Yeah.
But a lot of people wouldn't be able to, or they will just report their mom or their dad, which is totally understand. I chose not to. Alright, is that the best? I don't know, but I own my decision.
There's a weird way of kindness that you have, so any other things that you see in you?
A lot of courage. Because whenever I want something, can't go get it.
Done.
Persistence.
Say you want it done. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have nothing. I don't rely on my parents. I don't rely on anyone to give me anything. Everything I have right now, I earn it myself.
Mm.
And I get it. Because I put my effort. How I learn sales. I call 10 hours a day.
Mhm.
How many people can put in that effort, you know? And after going through what I went through, if I told you, right, that I am a serial murderer, right, or I'm a serial killer, right, and I told you this is my childhood, would you be able to understand? Like, would you be able to? I'm not surprised. You actually go and trace murderers and crazy people that do crazy stuff, right? They have a childhood like that. In similar childhood, you know. So if I tell you that I'm not a murderer, I'm a murderer now, and I tell you this is my life, would you be surprised? Maybe not, right? But I'm far from that person. And after being fucked by the world, by people that I care a lot about, I didn't let that change me of who I am as a person at the core. It's like a lot of people make use of your honesty, right, and loyalty to fucking destroy you. But because of all that, right, you still choose to be loyal and honest. But most people will be like, fuck.
You dumbass, you fucking stupid boy.
Yeah, so I'll never be loyal again. I'll never be kind again. I'll never be nice again. I should treat people like shit. Why? Because people treat me like shit. And I didn't choose to do that.
Just like the muscle analogy, using the wrong muscles.
In some sense. And yeah, and I guess how many people can do that, right? Like, honestly. Like, ask yourself, how many people can be as honest as you? So hard.
Yeah,
right?
it's not easy. Yeah.
It's not easy. Like it's saying so easy, right? But it's not how much money you get.
Easy. Yeah. Like, I'm looking at the people around me. Like to me, it becomes easier because I've done a lot of difficult honesty things to people. But to a lot of people, it's not very easy. Yeah.
Correct. It's very hard, and it doesn't matter how much money someone have. A lot of people that have money, they might not necessarily be honest also, and you'll be surprised. You see, so these are the things, and as a person with me and her, no fancy cars, no fancy dates, no fancy watch, nothing, no money. If I just sit in front of her, we could talk the whole day. Seriously, about what? Anything and everything. About work, about sales, about marketing, about our bunnies, talk about our life, our traveling, about fun, talk about gossip, talk about educational stuff, then talk about life, philosophy, then talk about our parents, then talk, joke around, laugh, talk. Then we also can transition into educational stuff, like you know, World War II, that kind of stuff, what happened, this happened. Yeah. So that's why I say she's like my best friend because I can talk to her about everything.
Yeah, that's great.
But she's also intellectually smart enough to get me in my level and even challenge me. Like, you're wrong. And she could pull out why I'm wrong. Because a lot of girls will do that. Just listen to me.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
That's the power of a structured person.
So it's like kind of like it's like kind of like how Layla can give Alex feedback, right? That you know, Alex always say that Layla has this very sick intuition that she's never wrong. Michelle also has this. I feel sus about this person or this thing, then turns out she's right. Or I feel sus about this situation. This will happen, then she's right. So far she's never been wrong. So I can never lie to her.
Okay, so I got this question, like it's more for myself. You're hanging out, I would say possibly why you're hanging out with me is potentially because Michelle thinks I'm okay.
Yes. She thinks like Darren's a good guy.
How does she know I hardly spend time with her?
No, I tell her about you. It's our feel. And I mean like she doesn't really know you yet, but you never know. Maybe next time you meet her, when you hang out with me and her, I'm curious to see how you think of my dynamics with her also. Like, cause when Chaos hangs out with me and her, Chaos also will say like we have this vibe and aura together that is like he doesn't know how to describe, but it's like a good feeling.
Okay.
Like it's like I say it's like a power couple kind of feel, and like he enjoys being around us because we are fun and we are also like smart people. Right? Not trying to make myself sound like arrogant, but like you know what I mean. Like we're not stupid people.
Yeah,
we don't get how you mean what you mean. You get what I mean? So, that's what I feel like, and for that entire shit I went through, I felt like this entire thing in my life, right, is a foundation. I know it sounds like I went through a lot, right?
Yeah, but this is just like you just dig the floor, you just lay the foundation on concrete. Okay?
Yeah, I feel like this is the setup as to what I'm gonna do in my life.
Yeah, it's just up from here.
Yeah, it's just up from here. Like,
That's a nice note to end, actually.
it's quite a scary feeling right now because the things that I used to be motivated by,
no longer triggers you anymore.
yeah, not as much.
That's okay, I find something purer to work with.
Correct. So in that sense, I feel like a lot of successful and high performers, they only reach this level of where I'm at right now after they lost a loved one, they fall sick, their business fail, or some crazy major life crisis event happen, and then they wake up and they realize, what the fuck have I been doing my entire life? Or why do I need so much money for what? That kind of stuff. Which people won't understand because they'll say, wow. But I get it because I was there, right? And I'm very convincing, so I can convince a lot of people to think how I was thinking in my toxic way, and then a lot of them will believe, But now I see it differently, right? And I feel like I really believe, Darren, like if you ask me to look into my future self in 5 to 10 years, the crazy thing is I cannot tell you how I'll be like in 5 to 10 years. I honestly don't know, and I'm figuring it out. But what I know is, as cheesy as it sounds, the best has yet to be. The best has yet to come. And all
The
these
best
things,
is yet to come. Yeah.
it's just foundation.
That's a nice.
It's
Nice.
the ACS school logo.
Ah.
Best has yet to be.
Okay, I want to do like that, but I realize some ACS guys might be douche, not all. Huh?
Not all douche like.
Yeah, not all.
Most
But
of
the
them.
general stereotype, they
Yeah,
are douche.
correct, yeah. Which
Alright.
I met many now, so.
Alright, and with that is the wrap for our first podcast.
Yeah. So actually what we can do, right, is a lot of stories can cut up into like 2 minute, 1 minute, 3 minute, 1 minute.
But I guess stop first. I think I'm done. Well, that's a 2 hours conversation.
I felt like it was me sharing with you my life.
But it's okay, nothing wrong with that.
It's like nothing wrong, but it was like